Say that.
Oh, the comment. Hello and welcome back to the finishing line, and we're finally here. It's our Cheltenham preview, and as ever, I couldn't get the introduction right because someone wrote in, where is Make Good running? Make Good is an original finishing line horse,
COVID horse,
brought up by Tom, a Dundalk horse trained by John McConnell, and if you weren't here years ago, you won't get Make Good, but I personally thought that was a very good comment. Hello, everyone. Andrew, how you doing?
I am fantastic, Dave. I need to make sure I click up here. Go on, keep going.
Andrew's going to beard. What's going on with that?
What do you mean, what's going on with that? Do you like it?
Yeah, it was nice. No, it's not a porn star tash. It's just a beard.
It's just a beard. What? A porn star? What?
Porn star tash.
Oh, no. Don't need that to be porn star.
Is it going to be
I bought a new razor today first. Well, I'll do yours if you want. Do your hair as well. 2 for 1.
Thanks. Give me a few bob, sure. Dave, is that a new hat? No, it's just a little while. Bengals.
Do you know what? You yet to see the fucking hat I bought you on?
The tag is still on that. Sean, how are you doing?
Absolutely fantastic. The nap of the festival, Tom turning up late, has just landed, so we don't even need to turn up to Cheltenham now.
No.
1 to 20 on.
And Joe, how are you doing?
Grand Dave, yeah. Just on weather watch, aren't I, here in Cheltenham? But yeah, I'm all good, mate. Excited for the festival. Let's get it underway.
Okay, so Tom is going to join us. We'll cross the T's and dot the I's and do all that stuff before we get into the race. And he's playing his 5-a-side game. We'll ask him when he comes along, did he score any goals? Do the usual. And we will kick on to the race, and whatever happens if he's not here, and he can join in then afterwards. Before we start, the video went down very well the other day. Personally, thanks for everybody that commented. Happy to see me back. And
horse racing friend.
Saying it was good to have me back and so on and so forth. Thank you to Joe for stepping in while I've been very busy. And we will have a few more shows before the end of the year. I will try and make as many as I can.
You're coming from all of them. We're stopping at punch. Sure.
And then we'll be gone for the flat season. We are not going to do the flat
zero
this year.
Flat season this year.
Zero flat.
Nada. None. Zilch. Not even that Royal Ascot preview.
There was a lot of comments from new people. So if you are new here, please like and subscribe.
And stop being bitches, we curse. Leave
as many comments as you want. The cursing
happens.
Look, if you're here, there's going to be cursing.
It's an over 18 show.
Fuck. You may as well get used to it now. There'll be a few of them, a few other ones, maybe a C-bomb here and there. It's going to happen.
Constitution Hill. Whoa.
But it's all in good fun. When we get into this, I'm going to take day 1. Joe's going to take day 2. I'll take day 3. Sean, please fix your mic.
Sean's like he's on a rave.
Joe will take day 4 and then lead us out with the handicaps, and we're all going to give lucky 15, so 4 horses for the festival. And hopefully Tom will be here by then. I'm sure he will be because he probably has a bottle of wine and everything ready to go.
And after day 2, I have a video from Gavin Lynch. He's going to give you 4 picks, 1 for each day. 5 picks, actually. 5 picks. 1 on each day, 2 on the Friday. So that is happening after day 2.
Yeah, and if you are new here, it's the first video. I've no hair. I took my hat off.
Really?
I didn't know.
Jesus.
There you go.
Yeah, there's a bit of tempting there.
The bookie's foe asked for something he didn't know. There you go. You might not have known I was bald. You do now.
I didn't know you were bald.
That was a joke. Speaking of jokes.
Terrible fucking joke.
What about Sergino being the new reigning 4-time champion hurdle winner, Sean? Because Twitter said so. And he walloped Con Hill the other day.
I thought it was a great performance.
What happened, Sean?
A 180-ish performance. 185, I would have said.
Con Hill came over the line like
Andrew. He's so heartbroken.
Con Hill came over the line like Andrew. No, like Tom playing football.
You're lucky you changed that.
Yeah.
This was a heartbreaking moment now. This was really, really, really heartbreaking because I don't know what's going to happen now. Look, everyone's convinced he's not going to run. There's a small glimmer of hope in me that I hope he still does, but piece of work was devastating, and to say the least, the definitely something wrong a long way out. Nico pulled up and the two of them went by and he was left a kilometre behind. I'd say I probably had about 100 messages maybe in the WhatsApp group, possibly even 200. And it was hard to take, I'm not going to lie. Then the drift starts and then the news breaks. So, look, I'm praying he gets there. I don't know if he will or not. I think Monday's the next D-Day, isn't it? The acid test, as they're saying, so we'll find out then.
Yeah, you've had a few hits there with the old anti-post, Sean. We've been hard on you, but it's not been a good year. Like, it's not been good.
It's been a coming of age year for Ollie.
Yeah. It's it builds character, Sean.
We've all been there. You get over it.
You've built character this year. You disappeared the other day when Con Hill news came out. You went away for a while. You came back. And you're here today, so
you know how it hurts me. And like people wind me up about, and then he goes injured, and then I have to listen to the shite that he's never going to be on a track again, and wherever else. It hurts big time.
You got to take it, Sean. You got to take it, mate. You got to take it.
Of course.
See, the thing is, Sean, you still have hope in your heart as well, and it's the 100%. Hope that kills you.
100%.
He's taken now, Joe, to asking Tom all the particulars of the words that Nicky is saying, just for another little bit of hope. And he won't answer anybody else in the group about it, but he'll talk to Tom about it. And Tom is just saying, get over it.
Sean, apparently,
and there's like 400 vets apparently on Twitter nowadays. I'm gonna hold my hands up and say I have no fucking clue what any of it means, and be honest.
Apparently, Sean, stop for a sec. Apparently, people can't hear you.
There's something wrong with your mic.
Right, give us a second.
Oh, he's gone. Just like Con Hill. Hey! First one of the night.
Jiggy Wiggy, I heard you met racing blogger for a few points, Dave. He kissed your head for look like the French lads used to do with Fabien Barthez.
I'm only allowed to do that.
So Andrew actually does that at Punchestown, and he always stands on the left-hand side of me when we're in the stand.
Right-hand side?
No, left.
Left-hand side.
Left-hand side. Left-hand side. Can people hear Wally now?
Michael Horsfield said we can hear him fine. I reckon they're playing with us. I reckon
Possibly.
they're playing.
People just can hear me then, that's all I
People are lying.
They
want you muted. They want you muted. Right, we're going to kick on. We're going to try and get this all wrapped up by 10:30 and be better than previous years. So sit in, get ready for this. I'm sure there'll be, and again, there will be a few F-bombs. Tuesday, Supreme Novice Hurdle, first race of the festival. And of course, these are all non-runner, no bet, money back. Majority are in the bookies. And we obviously don't have declarations. Ballyburn 11-10. Don't touch my mic.
To talk into it then.
Tully Hill 5-1. Jericho the Weapon A.
That worked out well.
I think that says 8-1. Firefox 9-1. Mystical Power 9-1. Slade Steel 10-1. And then 16-1 bar. Sean, you've been a big fan of Ballyburn, but you want him to go to the Ballymore. What do you think?
Yeah, look, the start of the festival is going to start big and bold with me now. This is by far, I'd say, my GSI of the festival. I think Ballyburn is an absolute machine. He comes in here racing against Tully Hill, possibly. I think Mystical Power is going to go with the Ballymore. They definitely won't send the two of them the same way. I don't see where they run the two of them against each other, and I definitely think they know Ballyburn is better than him, so they'll be split that way. Tully Hill came out at Punchestown. Look, its jumping's not good enough in my opinion. Good horse, he might take the lead and bring them from majority of the race. I think Ballyburn will take her off him. Jericho the Reppin' A, I don't know what to make of that form. It's Kempton. The two of them in behind have gone and won at Kempton, but as I said in the day, that was the worst grade 2 I've seen in a long time at Kempton. That Donis, I think it's called. That was a terrible race. And Firefox you have in there, I would have me house that form will turn from 30 house early in the season. Ballyburn has come on so much from that run, and when you're ridden them that day, you see Paul Townend was keen to hold on. There will be absolutely no holding on to Ballyburn now going in the Cheltenham. Like, he went to the DRF. He took her up halfway down the back. His jumping was the best I've seen it. He travelled like a machine. He'll stay further. I think he'll eat up the hill, and his hands and heels, head and shoulders above this. Like, he's an RPR of 165. The next one in is Slade Steel at 155. I don't see him running. And Tully Hill's 152. Like, they have 10 plus pounds to find him. I just think he's head and shoulders above this bunch. He's going to be 11 to 10. I think the bookies will take him on first race of the festival. But honestly, hand on heart, I think he's a 1 to 2 poke, and I will be absolutely getting stuck into Ballybourne the first.
Joe, the comments want you to turn up your mic, so we'll go to Andrew next.
Kind of Willie Mullins bingo started again today. Ballybourne looks like he's going here. Mystical Power looks like he's going to the Bearing Bingham, whatever it's called these days. If Mystical Power was to turn up against him, I'd have Mystical Power over him all day. There's something about Ballybourne. He just has his one pace, which is very, very fast. But take Mystical Power out of this, the rest of them are dirt. Tully Hill, I can't for the life of me fathom why he's short he is right now. Jericho the Repney, I went back him in a month of Sundays. He's only rated 132. He should be running in a handicap. Firefox, I think he'll get. There is a chance he can uphold that form. There's every chance he can do it. He's beaten him already. There's no reason why he can't beat him again. But on his last run, his fourth, he'd need to really turn it around. I know Gordon's were going through a bit of a thing. Then Slay Steel won't run here. Dice Leaders won't here. This was it, Mr. Jiff.
Mr. Jiff,
yeah. This seems to be a talking horse the last week out of nowhere. Like, this is a prime example of FOT
found on
Twitter. I don't get it at all. When you take all that into consideration, you take the quality of the field. Ballybourne should be miles ahead of these, and if you fancy him at 11 to 10, I would absolutely have your stones on him at 11 to 10, because the rest of them won't get near him unless Mystical Power runs here. I think there's a big reason why Willie is splitting them up, because two of them, to me, in both novice hurdles, are miles better than the rest.
Can the comments let us know if Joe and Sean are all right now? Because me and Andrew can hear a little bit of crackling our side, but if it sounds better your side, we will just put up with it. Joe, what are you thinking?
Look, Dave, I think Ballybourne is obviously the form setter. He's probably going to be the best horse in the race, but I definitely wouldn't give up on Jericho de Repine just yet. I know he hasn't necessarily hit the heights that we've seen at Ballybourne. However, the problem with Jericho is simply the fact that you'd have probably expected him to improve or mature a little bit more in the 3 runs. I definitely don't think that means he's not open to much improvement. When he won, beating Lump Sum and Fiercely Proud, he hung left, he was looking right. Everything seemed to go wrong for him that day, but he still just had the class to get it done. So I wouldn't quite give up on Jericho de Repine, but I think Ballybourne is obviously going to be the one to beat. And I think it'd be a massive mistake for them to run him in the bar in Bingham. When you got your best horse, get him in the Supreme, get the festival off to a flyer. Because if they take him out of the Supreme, run him in the Bear in Bingham, and then they find they don't have a horse good enough to win the Supreme, it could just be an ugly picture for them moving forward. But Ballybourne, to me, Dave, I think he's going to run here, and I think he's going to take some stopping as well.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day, Joe, and I'm of the opinion that he should run in the Supreme and will run in the Supreme. It's the first race of the festival. It's the race that I think a lot of people would say is probably their favourite race of the festival, if asked. Very prestigious race. And I think he will win either race. He seems a very, very good horse. So I'd be with Ballybourne here, but I totally agree with Andrew. I think Firefox is a really good each way bet. He's beaten Ballybourne already. You'd have to forgive him his last run, but he definitely travelled like the best horse in the Lawlers and Ace, and then he fell away for some reason. So maybe the drop back and trip to 2 miles would do him good. And Gordo has had a couple of horses run well before in the Supreme, so he had that most abracadabra
Alakazam.
He nearly bet Shishkin 1 year. So Firefox each way, but I would like to see Ballybourne
The
win.
only problem I have, not problem, but worry I have with Ballybourne is getting lit up, because he's very enthusiastic. If the razzmatazz of 70,000 people, or how many it is at the festival, gets him going, he could tank his way around there and do way too much, and then get done for speed. But then on the other side of it, you're looking at who's going to actually
I said this the other day as well. If he does get keen, then isn't he better to be at 2 miles than 2 miles 5?
But all his stamina and all, like the stamina in his pedigree, what he's doing over 2 miles to me now amazes me, because he has every right to only go and improve going up and trip. And like as you said, you've always touched on the stairs in the Supreme. I legit think he is a future 3 mile chaser, and I don't think so. I think he'll absolutely eat up that hill. And I was looking at the trends. Like 7 of the last 10 winners have won a Grade 1 that previous start. He is the only Grade 1 winner in this field, and it could be just that obvious.
Okay, final selections. Win selection only. Andrew?
Ballyburn should beat them.
Joe?
Ballyburn, Dave.
Sean?
Oh, Ballyburn all over him.
Full house for Ballyburn, and Tom would choose him too if he was run.
There's something fishy telling me something's going to be for some reason.
Get the lads off to a good start. Okay, we're on to the Arkle.
Oh,
Andrew.
Yes, I get that there now, Dave. For you. There you go.
This is a bit of a minefield, so we won't spend 40 minutes talking about it, but we'll try pick a winner. Marine National is still favourite 11-4. Joe's favourite horse. Found a 50 11-2. Il Ete Tomp 11-2.
On the Purple Family.
Gaelic Garlic Bread 7-1. Hunter's Yarn 10s. Quilixios 10s. JPR 1 11-1, and then 16-1 bar. Joe, I gave Sean the floor for Ballyburn. You're going to have the floor for Marine National.
Yeah, well, look, Dave, I won't spend too long on it. As you know, I just get a little bit carried away. But I still just think on ability, he is the fastest horse and the best horse in this race. Now, if we take a look at the ground, that is obviously going to be a concern. We've had a little bit of rain today, and it's not going to be any better than good to soft. It's going to be between good to soft and soft ground. And that has become a slight concern for Marine National. But if he turns up in good form, I just think he's still the one to beat. I understand Founder 50 and Ilite Tomp beat him at Leopardstown, but Mikey told me that he wasn't very happy with Marine from the get-go that day. I'm inclined to believe him. He's had a clinical test to say that it's not a wind issue, and obviously I trust in Barry that he wouldn't be running his superstar if there was any sort of clinical issue with him. He is his handler and he looks after him first and foremost. But I think he's the best horse, Dave. It's literally just this slight
Caught rotten. Sorry, Joe. Caught rotten. Open a bottle of wine.
I didn't think you were going to add me in. Oh, no, I snapped the cork. Oh, I got a mare.
Two seconds.
I'll leave you sort that out.
No, wait. Tom. Oh, there's balloons. I don't know what that was. 2 seconds, Joe. Tom, 1, did you win football?
Nah, I wasn't very good.
Actually, 3 things. 2, did you score?
Yeah.
Fuck.
What, Thomas?
And 3, did you get a kebab?
No. Hey, you'd be proud of this, Dave. So I knew this was coming up. Busy night, bit of football. So I had chicken fillets with pasta for lunch, knowing that I wouldn't be able to eat this evening.
And Pablo, your Supreme pick. We've done the Supreme. Who wins the Supreme? If you don't say Ballymore, just don't stay quiet. I'd say.
I'm going to lose this fucking thing now. Okay. I'm going to do this in a second.
Joe, fire away. Tom, it's gone. Who
wins the Supreme? Ballyburn if he runs. I'm with Sean on this. I think wherever Ballyburn turns up, he'll win. I'm a massive mystical power fan though. Looks like he's going Bear and Bingham, but I just can't see it in anything. So
save that. Joe, Marine National.
Yeah, I mean, look, on ability, he takes the road of beating, but he's obviously got to prove that he can come out and do it again over fences. I was really impressed with him on his beginner's chase debut, mind. He was arrow straight, jumped really nicely, and he just didn't do the same thing at Leopardstown. So based on what Barry has told us, there's no clinical issue. Again, he's his handler. He wouldn't want to run him if there was any issue. The same with Goodland. He only had a niggling injury, but he's been out all season. As far as Barry's concerned, Marine is in good health. He's happy, and he's got the quickest turn of foot. If he can get to that second last in a good position, I think he takes all the beating. But if you want a selection outside of that, I do think Founder 50 will reverse the form of Ilite Tomp, because I don't think Cheltenham necessarily suits him. But look, this is it's make or break for me. Marine National for me here, lads.
I'll go next. There was a comment there from Patrick Hickey saying Marine National is overrated and the Supreme was a poor race. And I love Facile Vega, but I agree that the Supreme was a poor race. In behind them, there was the likes of Tamoris, Dark Raven. I know Ite Tomp has come out now. He's a decent jumper. The Verge was in there. I know he suffered a career-ending injury. Dr. Bravo, High Definition. None of those horses are much good. In all fairness, okay, like Marine National won that. I said to Sean after he won his beginner's chase, I didn't like the strength of the race, the form, the horses behind him, although he won it easy. So I'm going to tend to just look away from all that form, and I hope that Gaelic Warrior runs here. I hope if he runs, they just kick him out, let him go as fast as possible. None of this like holding him back and trying to curtail him. And if he jumps left or right, so be it. If he doesn't, then just let him go as fast as possible and see if they can catch him. But it's not a strong selection, and I think it will be a good race to watch because there's so many chances, but very, very difficult race to figure out. Andrew?
Gaelic Warrior has no open hell to win this. Not a chance. Any race around Cheltenham. He's shown so many times going left-handed. Right-handed, yeah, he would. Marine National, I agree with you. There's so many holes to pick now that you look back in hindsight. It's a great thing, as you say, that Supreme, I was just looking at before you started talking about it. It's not a good race at all. Fasta Vega has been very disappointing, and the majority of Bar Ilite Tomp have been very disappointing and behind it. I think he's very much a horse you'd be willing to take on. To me, it screams of a Western Moor horse here. There's nothing stand out there, and one who I kept going back to, and one who I backed, and I got dogs abuse for backing him a few weeks ago, was Calixios. A horse that won the Triumph Hurdle, won it quite well a few years ago in lockdown. Came back after 600 and nearly a 2-year break. Won first time up over 2 miles 3 at Limerick. He beat Cool Survivor. Then he stepped up to 3 miles. And he was out the back of the telly. He never got involved. Just stayed 3 miles. Dropped back down to 2 miles and 8. He beat Safour and he beat Mr. Police then. And he's had to come out and win the high horse of the whole season. He's a very good jumper. He'll stay out of trouble. He's course form. And I just think this will not take that much of winning. He's lightly raced for his age that he's been around. He's only had to racing 12 times. He's had to running 3 times over chases. He's had to winning twice. He's, to me, and look, Henry, we see year in, year out, Henry's horses grow an extra leg for the Cheltenham Festival, and they improve on anything they've done all season. And I think he has a massive chance of 10-1 each way, and I'd be very willing to take on Marine National with Calixios at 10-1, because found a 50 solid horse. I can see him definitely being placed. I just think something will beat him. Elite Tomp, I backed him at the Dublin Race Festival. There's something telling me don't back him here. Gaelic Warrior, I wouldn't back around Cheltenham at all. Hunter's Yarn, he's a dark horse there, but I think Calixios is an out-and-out solid horse. I think 10-1 each way, I think he'd definitely be placed.
Tom, 2 minutes to figure the Arkle out.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Andrew. I don't know if you can hear me, lads. Someone said my mic was a bit low or whatever. But where are we? I think this could be a Western Warhorse type of year. It looks wide open to me. Marine National, Joe, I know you love him, but every vibe I get is that the horse can't breathe. So I'd be extremely worried. God knows what the ground's going to be like. I think that's going to be a theme of this preview and the lead up to Cheltenham as well. The ground is like crucial for him. Ilite Tomp has run bad at Cheltenham when he had every chance to run okay. Found a 50, I'm not massively sure. Gaelic Warrior, the jury is out there. He got broken by a machine the last day. Hunter's Yarn, I can't take him jumping around for an Arkle. Calixios is interesting. I'm actually going with an English horse. You'll be able to count these on one hand how many will tip up now tonight. But JPR1 is going to be the outsider for me. Ran very, very well at Cheltenham in November. Was going to absolutely bolt up when he just tripped up at the last or the second last. I think it was the last. Yeah. Look, his form, he disappointed a little bit at Sandown, but that was on bottomless ground at Sandown. He's coming back then. He won well at Lingfield. And I think he's going to have a hell of a chance, actually. He didn't run too bad in the Supreme, to be honest. He finished 5th in that. I know he was last, but he still ran all right, I think, for a horse who was going to be a chaser. He's got that Cheltenham form, and I think each way I'd be back in JPR1.
He's a brilliant jumper, just to jump in there. He's a cracking jumper, JPR1. I'd be worried that he's not actually got enough class to win the race, but his jumping might just mean he's still there 2 out, which obviously gives him strong place claims. You won't find a better jumper, I don't think, in the field than JPR1. He's arrow straight like.
That's the thing. I think. Look, are there horses in this field with more talent than JPR1? Yes. Are there horses in the field with 50 million question marks above their heads now? Yes. So I'm just going to take a swing on him. I think he's pretty solid, and I'm going to back him each way.
Yeah, good jumper. The comments don't much agree. More chance of Emil Holmes winning the Arkle than JPR1, and I'd rather back Buddy 1 than JPR1 for this. Sean, last one on
it. Dave. It gets better. Sean says more chance of West Balboa winning. I wonder how many times their name's going to come tonight.
First and last time we heard that tonight.
And put the cork back on the bottle, Tom. They don't agree with you, Tom. Sean, last selection here for the Arkle, and we'll move on.
Yeah, look, it does all come down to ground. Marine National, look, I thought he was deadly first day out. Then the second day, as Thomas touched on, it did scream wind issue. Everything plays. If it comes up good ground, you're going to take your chances. If it comes up already soft ground, like he could drift massively on the day because people will be very cold about going in on him. One thing I will say, the two Irish grade ones that have been ran this year at Christmas and at the DRF are very different races to how this is going to be run, in my opinion. They weren't ran at great gallops, and you have the likes of Matata and horses like that in here who are going to go an absolute million. And this race is going to be ran a lot quicker than I think the other two Irish races have been ran this season. And I definitely think Found the 50 might turn the form. He's been running over 2 mile 1 furlongs at Leopardstown, and that's a stiff test. He's down to 1 mile 7 here. I think he's led the 2 races going into the last fence, and he got picked up late by Ilate Tomp. I think coming back down in distance, that might suit him. It's not a great Arkle in my opinion. You'd be brave to back someone like a Hunter's Yarn. He could absolutely explode our fence. He's made 2 right errors when the races have quickened up and he's got going. I see the angle on Quilixios, but I don't really have a strong opinion on it, to be honest with you.
Okay, final selection, Andrew.
Quilixios, strong each way.
Gaelic Warrior for me. Tom.
JPR1, yeah, each way.
Joe.
Marine National for me, Dave.
And Sean?
Found the 50.
Okay, we are going straight to the champion hurdle. We won't spend overly long at this. It really is only kind of a 2-horse race, and it looks maybe now like a 1-horse race. We touched on what happened with Constitution Hill, but we'll just fire to the race. And at the moment, the betting is Stateman 8-13. You can get 6-4 on Con Hill. Irish Point is in there at 7-1. Lossy Mount won't run. Then you have the likes of Not So Sleepy, Lucia, Zarek, the Brave. If Con Hill isn't here, Stateman should win this. It should be really just a penalty kick. And if Con Hill does turn up, with all that's happened, I would back Stateman at the price. You'll probably get, I don't know, you definitely get the better price because people are back Con Hill if he turns up.
Even money.
So, yeah, Stateman. Andrew?
I know Thomas foaming at the mouth there. I might leave him go.
Okay, Tom.
No, look, I just want to do a little welfare check here. If Sean is, do you feel able to talk about this race, Sean, or would you like us to move on?
Breaks me heart, Tom, but listen, we're going to have to cover, aren't we?
Look, all piss taken aside, and there's been a lot of it now this week. It's a shame to see, we want to see the best horses run, and Con Hill is a very, very good horse. And I was actually looking forward to seeing could Stateman get anywhere near him, because Stateman's had a great year. It looks to have improved. I really like him. I've really come along to him. I was taking him on at the start of the season with Imperial Pass. He soon put him in his box. But it's just the horse's attitude. After the race, he's just heading the ground. Before the race, he's heading the ground. It's just a dude. I've really, really come around to him. We've spoken at length in our WhatsApp group, haven't we, about my view on Con Hill is he's gone to Kempton to do his last proper piece of work, or at least good blowout, right? He's not been able to do that now because he's not completed that. He's then on antibiotics. He's tipping away, but it's he'll be gently cantering just to keep his lungs moving and working. The mucus is gone, fantastic. But what the more worrying thing was yesterday when they said the bloods came back and the bloods were wrong. So if his bloods aren't right, he's got no chance of running. So Yeah, grand. It's a bit like, as we were saying, like your mucus and stuff has cleared up. You still feel like shit after it for a few days. And even if this clears up next week, they've then got the issue of they've missed at least a week with him. He's missed a bit of work. They're then going to have to get another bit of work into him. It's all a bit rushed. And if I think I find Nicky Henderson a very, system-based trainer. He knows where he has to get a horse to peak, and he likes it to go perfectly. Now, I'm not saying he can't get Con Hill ready. Of course he can, but I would just be taking on, even if he turns up there now. We've got to take him on, especially with a horse like State Man, who has had an exceptional year, looks to have improved, everything's gone right. You've got to take him on the State Man. I'm not even sure. I don't even think there's anything to back each way against him. I just, if he does turn up, I'd be getting well stuck into State Man, and if he doesn't, then State Man's going to win 10 lengths, isn't he? Well, he's not. It's State Man. He's not going to win 10 lengths. He's going to win 5 lengths.
Andrew?
Yeah, the interesting comment that I took out of Nicky's interview with Matt Chapman was, if it was any other horse, he wouldn't be running Tuesday week.
Yeah.
To me, that means they are hanging on to every last bit of fibre of hope.
Yeah, because they want him to be the star that they believe him to be, or he is.
So. Yeah, and look, same as Tom. If he turns up, you have to take him on. He's a sick horse going into it. He's after missing work that was intended to do with Kempton. Nicky said all the majority of his work is done, all the fast bits. That doesn't mean all of his work is done. It's going to be the last blowout. You can even see when he was next to Nicky and Mashi, whatever his name was, on top of him, he was kind of irritated there. You can see the tail was swishing. He's not righting himself, and you can kind of get the vibe that Nicky knows, and he's hanging on to every last bit of hope. But yeah, not to add on to anything else, if Constitution Hill turns up, I'd still be on State Man. If this is 100% Con Hill going in here, look, Con Hill would have won. But to me, this is State Man's champion hurdle to lose now.
Joe?
Yeah, not a lot to add, really. Obviously, it's a bit of a shame. I definitely can't see him turning up, though. I think that's out of the question. Again, that's just my opinion. But obviously, that does give us the possibility that they may end up meeting at Punchestown if they get Constitution Hill fit for there. So I suppose it gives us some sort of hope that we might still get the match up. The only other thing to add really is State Man's probably the deserved Cheltenham champion hurdle winner this year. He's had a full campaign. He's done everything that's been asked of him. So, I mean, is it a bit of karma for Nicky for possibly not getting Constitution Hill out? When he's had the opportunity? Maybe. But either way, if Constitution Hill doesn't turn up, which I don't think he will, I don't think you can risk a horse as good as him to send him to the champion hurdle. I think State Man will take the beating.
Like, myself, you, and Cool will have a conversation about this months ago, that we got this vibe that he's not right at all this season. There was something just about it. I think he's been wrong for a long time, and you just can't seem to get rid of it. Could be totally wrong, could be totally out of our arses, but we just got that vibe all together all season. But you know what I can't wait for? When he comes back to Aintree and Pop Allinger beats him. Oh, what a year this is going to be.
Sean, last one on the champion hurdle.
Yeah, look, I'll take the simple view of if Nicky Henderson runs him, you'd want to have some sort of nuts on you now to be laying. The Constitution Hill is what I'd say to anyone. You'd want to have some serious bottle to be doing that, because I think if he sends him... Sorry?
If he turns up, I will lay you a point bigger or the next odds up. If he's 4 to 6...
he's going to be 1 to 2. It'd be 1 to 2 at least, I'd say.
No, they'll take him on if he turns up.
I'd say so.
I'll lay you 4 to 5 if he turns up.
We'll get evens out of you. But anyhow, I think if he turns up, that says everything. Because there's no way in my head does Nicky Henderson run him if he deep down thinks he's going to be beat. Because he can just pull him, and he could do it now. But he's going to go through it right until the last minute and try everything he can to get there. In my opinion, he can run 5 pounds under and still be State Man. Because that's the difference what's between them. There's a good 6-7 pounds between what he is and what State Man is. I love State Man. I've always said it. I think he's a deadly horse that didn't get the credit. He deserves to win a champion hurdle, and if Constitution Hill doesn't make it, he definitely deserves to have a champion hurdle beside his name. He's bomb-proof. He turns up every single day and runs 10 out of 10 and doesn't let you down. If Constitution Hill doesn't run here, and you're getting 1 to 2 about State Man, I'd be telling everyone to unload, because this stuff of running Irish Point will not get near State Man. And if he's running them in this champion hurdle, Gordon needs to have a serious talk with himself as well, because the fact that he isn't sending the 2 of them to the stairs is ridiculous, and dropping him back for a champion hurdle. Like, what's he going to take on? Not So Sleepy, Zarek the Blave and the Chia. If Constitution Hill doesn't turn up, State Man wins. But deep down, I hope and pray that he gets there. And if he gets there and wins, by God will I tell you, I'll be running around Cheltenham in the nip. He can send me out of track if they want. He can kick me out and never let me return, because everyone will be getting it off me if Constitution Hill wins this champion hurdle.
What's your head telling you? What's your gut feeling telling you what's up with him? Or
Well,
not
see,
what's up with him? Will he turn up?
Basically, honestly, the gut is, I don't think it's fully ruled out yet, because my opinion would be 100 on the exchanges. If the boys that are professional gamblers and put their money down know that stuff, if they knew he was ruled out, they would be absolutely laying the nuts out of this fella, because it's free money for them, because he's not going to turn up. I think deep down they know this is a 50-50, or if not, maybe a 60-40, because I think if it was an 80-20 decision, everyone would be laying him. They'd be getting rightly stuck into him, and he's no bigger than 2 to 1, so no one wants to take the jump at the moment, and that's the thing that I hold on to.
It's 80-20.
Yeah, look,
I just don't see how they haven't started laying him. That's my only thing that I'm holding hope for.
Because if it was any other horse in the world, they would. There's Constitution Hill.
Sean, you're new enough to it. We loved Altior and Sprinter before you ever loved Con Hill, and Nicky just does this. And he, like Tom said, he's very systematic in the way he trains horses, and he always says that they're ready to go and so on and so forth. And a lot of those special horses, we talked about this before, have got injured, and he kept saying they were ready, they just weren't running because of heavy ground or this and that, and they've been injured or sick and so on and so forth. So your heart's breaking, I can tell by you, but I would not hold out hope. Okay, final selection, Stateman.
No, Stateman.
Joe.
Stateman, Dave.
Tom.
Stateman.
Sean.
Constitution Hill, of course, but look, if he doesn't run, honestly, if you're getting 1 to 2 about Stateman, even Tom be getting absolutely stuck into that, because I think he's bomb-proof.
Yeah.
He should be 1 to 5. If Conman doesn't run, he'll be 1 to 5.
Okay.
I hope value pays this time.
The Mayor's Hurdle. We've 2 more, the Mayor's Hurdle and the National Chase on the Tuesday. And Lossy Mouth's 4 to 7 favourite. Astro Diamond 4 to 1. Echoes in Pain 16 to 1. Hispanic Moon 16 to 1. Love in Bois 16 to 1.
Nice.
Magical Zoe, Tom's favourite horse 16 to 1. Marie's Rock 16 to 1. So on and so forth. Joe.
Oh, Dave, I've been flying the flag for Astro Diamond since even this time last year. And of course, she didn't go to Cheltenham, but she ended up going on and winning at Fairy House. I've been with her again all season, but the closer and closer I'm getting, I must be honest, I'm starting to lose my bottle for her.
Good man, Joe.
I think Lossy Mouth just takes some beating. I definitely think Astro Diamond's underrated and should be there at the finish. But the more I go back and watch the last races, not even just what she did at Cheltenham, how strong she was there at the hill, but the fact that when she ran at the DRF last year and still managed to get back towards Gala Marceau after making that mistake, I mean, surely she's going to be able to stay. And she's got the gears to go with it. I'd love to put Astro Diamond up, but I just can't. I just think Lossy Mouth's a little bit too good. So a little bit of a boring one, but I'm switching camps. Lossy it is.
Andrew?
Lossy Mouth is a God-given certainty. There's nothing on her level in this race, and that's just a fucking fact. Astro Diamond is a good horse. She's not Lossy Mouth level. As we said in the anti-post, there's levels to this. And here's Lossy Mouth, here's Astro Diamond. If you want to get stuck into 4 to 7, get stuck in. GSI and all that jazz. Gamble responsibly and all that jazz as well. she'll definitely win. One who I think is a ridiculous price, finished second at Honeysuckle last year, and this is our final run. Love Envoy. She's going to go out with a bang. She's 16-1. I can see her placing 100%. Echoes of Rain, I can't see her placing. All she has to do is beat Hispanic Moon and Magical Zoe, which I think she will do. But Lossy Mouth is a God-given certainty. There's going to be no worries about her stamina whatsoever. As Joe touched on there, she got boxed off at the DRF last year. She came back and showed she has plenty of stamina. She put like an absolute hewer in the Triumph last year. Still powered up the hill. There is zero doubt in my mind that she'll see out 2 mile 4 easily.
Tom?
Lossy Mouth. Lossy Mouth. Just back her. Simple as that. I think she looks an absolute aeroplane. She looked an aeroplane last year. Sean wasn't sure about the form of the juveniles. She came out and absolutely battered Love Envoy in First Street and Rhubarb at Cheltenham the last day. She's so much class. I honestly think that they'll be talking about whether they're tempted to run the Champion Hurdle next year with her. I think she'll absolutely annihilate this lot. Ashra Diamond, look, she actually probably surprised me a little bit in that she won the last day, but then when you look at it in the cold light of day, Gala Marceau has clearly lost the head this year, hasn't she? So she's got to be under control by 2 lengths. People keep going on about how she's ran in open races and whatever, and she's only been beaten by these good horses, but she's been held up and ridden to place. No, she's a keen going horse. I think she's going to absolutely lose the head at Cheltenham. It's her first visit there as a 7-year-old. I think she's going to get way too lit up. I think Patrick Mullins probably rider, will he? I hope he has his wheat bits in the morning because he's going to need it to keep a hold of this one. I'll take her on all day long. Sean, I know, unfortunately, 2 non-runners against her in match bets. I'd probably still take them even if they just turned up there next Tuesday or Tuesday week. I will give you the match bet, Sean. And I'm actually going to back this horse to place.
If you tell me Hispanic Moon, I'm going to lose it.
Nah, worse. Magical Zoe.
Oh, good Jesus Christ. She's an original one of them that you had with me.
Is she the original one?
Yeah, she's the original one.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, I'll double down on that if you want me to. She ran a cracker at Leopardstown. She likes soft ground if it turns up soft ground. That Irish point form, even though she got a load of weight from him, is looking very good now, isn't it? With the way he won at the last day. I think she's underestimated. She's got that Cheltenham Festival form. She's going to be dropped in to come with a run. I can't see her out the first 3, to be honest. If she's 16-1, well, she is. I'm going to back her. Non-runner, no bet, and all that. But keen on her each way.
Sean,
I'll give you 3 trends that might scare you about Lossy Mouth. There's been one horse in the last 20 years to win the Triumph and follow up at the festival the next year.
Fuck off with that one. Sorry, no. Fuck off with that.
Happens, Jade. Come on, next.
Catch it in the Champion Hurdle. Only one of the last 16 has failed to win over 2.5 miles. And one of the last 9 favourites have won. There's been big upsets in this race. Annie Powers come down. Benny the Jew has come down. Look, I think Lossy Mouth is good.
Yeah.
How many have been Lossy Mouth? How many have been Lossy Mouth? How many have been mares?
Jesus, Annie Powers was considered a hell of a lot better than Lossy Mouth.
Not this, in the Triumph one. How many have been mares? Burning Victory.
Yeah.
Who would have been 17 lengths behind Goshen.
Yeah, I just wonder.
And she's been campaigned. And the difference with Lossy Mouth is she's not been campaigned to run against the Geldens and Champion Hurdle trials. There's a massive difference. She's one run. She's in the mayor's program. That's a massive difference. So you can shove that start up your arse.
I just think 2.5 miles is the worry. And Tom was worried about Ashra Diamond getting lit up. That'll definitely be a big worry of mine with Lossy Mouth at 1 to 2. She's been lit up in every single race she's run in so far. She got lit up at the Cheltenham Festival last year. She goes very keen in Paul Townend's hands over 2 miles. It's her first time going up on trip. If this gets tactical and she starts pulling the head, look, a horse that's 1 to 2 that hasn't proved over 2.5 miles, she could well go and win. She has the class. She's very good. But she's never ran over this distance, and it'd be a worry in the back of my mind. I think Ashra Diamond's a stonking each way bet at her price. Like, Tom thinks Magical Zoe will beat her. I don't think Magical Zoe will stay 2.5 miles in a horse box. I think she'll absolutely crumble up the hill. She doesn't get the distance for me. In a strongly run race, I like to be coming up that hill. I'd be very fearful of her. So I think Ashrow Diamond has to beat the likes of Hispanic Moon, Echoes in Rain, and Love Envoy. Love Envoy isn't half the horse that we've seen this season. She wasn't great at Cheltenham. She really, really wasn't. Like, I thought she'd go and run a lot better, but she didn't. And after that injury at Punchestown, I wonder has she gone backwards. But Ashrow Diamond, look, I think she's very, very solid mare. If there's any doubts in Lossiemouth's stamina, I definitely think she'd be there to pick up the pieces. I don't think Lossiemouth's going to go and beat her like 10 lengths or anything like that. She could perhaps be very close going to last and Lossiemouth picks up. But if Lossiemouth doesn't stay, I can guarantee you Ashrow Diamond will be there. She's shown very good form, even though they doubt her. She's unbeaten in against the mares. And I think what she done at Doncaster the last day over 2 miles surprised me. I didn't think she was as quick as she was. She bolted down that straight. She winged every hurdle. She was dynamite over her hurdles. And I think if there's any fault in Lossiemouth's stamina, she'll definitely be there to pick her up. And at 4-1, I think she's a stonking bet each way.
Are you going to lay Lossiemouth?
No, I won't lay her. But I'll be back in Ashrow Diamond each way. I don't think Ashrow Diamond. I don't think Ashrow Diamond.
Not laying him.
I don't think Ashrow Diamond will be out of places. I genuinely don't see that. I think she should definitely stay, and I don't think she's that far off Lossiemouth. And if Lossiemouth has any chinks in her armour, I think she'll definitely be there to pick her up.
She's miles off Lossiemouth. She's miles off anything Lossiemouth has done.
I like stats, but you can make stats suit your argument if you're really against a horse or really for a horse. I'm sure, like I mentioned the Supreme form from last year, and I'm sure someone could say, oh, Ilete Tampa's won a grade 1, so the form looks a little bit better, so on and so forth. But you've made the stats suit against Lossiemouth when they don't really suit Lossiemouth at all, because Andrew explained, as he did there, that no filly that won has been campaigned the way Lossiemouth has been. Also, 4-year-old Triumph Hurdle winners generally try to be champion hurdle horses. They're not able to be champion hurdle horses because they're too young, too immature, and Triumph hurdle horses are stayers. They're always stayers. They're stayers from the flat. They're 2.5 mile horses or 3 mile horses. That's what they end up being. A lot of Triumph hurdle horses end up being 3 mile chasers. Lossie will 100% stay. She looks like she's all speed, but she will 100% stay. And if you've seen her race in France before she ever came to Ireland, where she went straight through the last hurdle and still managed to win by 10 lengths, you know Lossie will stay. I said it the last day, and I understand people taking on a short price favourite, but there's some good short price favourites at the festival. There's some bad ones. Lossie is a good one. Her level is here. The rest of the level isn't there. I like Ashrow Diamond. She's a nice horse, but she is nowhere near the level of Lossiemouth. And the fact that they're talking about her as winning the Mayor's Hurdle already and then going on to do the Champion Hurdle next year shows the regard they hold her in. I heard it all last year when I loved the horse. She's not going to like Cheltenham. She done this wrong at the DRF, blah, blah, blah. She'd be unbeaten only for the ride she was given at the DRF. I'm sure Paul would say that as well. I think she's the best favourite on the first day of the festival. And you can do your little stayman dance and you'll win some money. Final selection, Mayor's Hurdle.
Oh, Lossiemouth.
Lossiemouth. Tom?
Yeah, Lossiemouth.
Joe?
Lossie now for me, Dave, yes.
And Sean?
Ashrow Diamond each way.
Okay, last one on the first day, and a few people have asked, the handicaps will be at the very end. We won't spend too much time on them, but we'll all have a couple of selections. The National Chase, Corbett's Cross 5-2, Embassy Gardens 5-2, Salvador Ziggy 11-2, Broadway Boy 10-1, Kilbeg King 10-1, Florin Porter 16-1, and then 16-1 Bar. Always a tough race. Sean, we'll let you take it first.
Yeah, look, I think a couple of these JP horses are being jiggled around factor foil, and there's a possibility that Corbett's Cross has a big class edge on these horses now. I think he could be running an RSA. The fact they have factor foil, he's being sent up to the 4 miler. And look, I don't really like Embassy Gardens. I don't know why. I've never taken to him. He blew up at the festival last year. It worried me big time he was pulled up. Like, I know Corbett's Cross ran out, but like he was far ahead of him. Like, he would have beaten him that day, no questions asked. And Corbett's Cross, look, his jumping's been a little bit sloppy, But he's got better, and the last day, although it doesn't appear, it appears as a fall, I thought he was a hell of a lot better than the best he's been before he was taken out by the Gigginstown horse who literally just cut his throat. That was a mad moment. But I can see him, they've settled him all the runs this season, and I think they've been teaching him to settle. Last year, he went from a 2-mile race up to a 3-mile Bartlett, and he just ran 2 free in the hand. I think they've been teaching him. He was out the back in the Leopardstown race, and then he came through when he was second to Grangecore West, and I think that form is stand out, to be honest with you. He's beaten the likes of Florian Porter in behind and beaten them well. I think he comes in here and staying the distance at 5-2. I just think he could have a big class edge on these and could take some beating.
For me, it's a hard race to weigh up, and it always is every year. The lads were all over Gaillard de Menil last year. I was just unsure. I eventually backed him on the day, but I like Embassy Gardens. But something just worries me with Patrick riding him, because every time in this race, he rides way too far back and gives the horse so much to do towards the end of the race. I'm still positive Gaillard de Menil would have lost last year if Malheur Mission had stayed up. He was way too far back. And was it the horse that won the Thyestes, Tom? You liked him years ago, Carefully Selected. Was that the horse a few years back?
Yes,
He was miles too far back on him, and he wasn't jumping well, and he could never get into the race either, and he was punting off the boards that day. Now, he did ride Statler in this and gave that a great ride, but just when he's miles out the back, I do not like that whatsoever. Can see the Corbett's cross angle, but I don't think he jumps well enough. So it's hard to know. I backed Salvador Ziggy to start the season. The top two at the betting should be better than him. Should have more class than him. One I'll back each way is Mark Bradstock's horse that won the race at Exeter. I think it's the Exeter National or something like that. He'll stay. He'll be out there in front. He's probably not classy enough to win it, but it's 40-1. I'll back him each way, especially if the ground is soft. He's just a stayer. Mr. Vango. He's just a stayer, and trainer does well with a small string of horses. So I'd back him each way. Joe?
I haven't really got a strong say here, Dave, just because I haven't got a standout selection. Salvador Ziggy, though, he jumps like an absolute stag, so he's going to have a pretty decent chance if he's there. But again, I've got reservations about Corbett's Cross staying the trip. I'm not totally sure what I think of Embassy Gardens, so I'm going to sit out of this one for the time being. I'm not too sure. I'll probably have a swipe at something on the day, but I haven't even got anything multipled up here or anything at the moment, Dave. So I'll leave it to the day.
Andrew?
To me, it's a 2-horse race to win purpose. And Sean was on about the Albert Bartlett last year, and Corbett's Cross miles ahead of him. Yeah, 100% would have beat him. This year, one has taken the chase and one hasn't. And Embassy Garden has clearly taken the chase, and he's a different horse. I know you're on about the whole up tactics, but I reckon they'll be a lot closer with this fella. He's jumping is his assay. He travels really well through his races. And I said there, jumps really well. To me, the race will be over by the time Corbett Cross gets going. I've never seen a chaser he's so slow over fences. He's so lazy, lethargic. There's nothing like, if you're asking for one, he's going to give it you. He's not going to give it to you. Where MC Garden, he does all himself, does it so fluently. I think 5-2 right now is a great price for him. I reckon he'll be smashed in on the day. To me, he's a clear class angle in this. And the Corbett's Cross, he's just just going to open it there. He's won over a multitude of trips from 2 miles to 3 miles. Has he actually won? No, he has. Yeah, he has. He won his point over 3 mile. That does count. He's won 3 mile Fairyhouse handicap hurdle for Eugene O'Sullivan. I kind of do have the reservations about the trip with him. Will he have to use too much petrol to get? He's the one that's going to be out the back now, this fella. He's the one that's going to be taken off his feet, if anything, and be trying to make up the ground at the end of the race. Where I reckon Embassy Garden, the way he's ran his last 2 races, he's either sat in second or up with the pace. I think he'll get into the lovely rhythm in front. And the thing with Corbett's Cross being out the back and these races, half of these jockeys, you may as well be throwing myself, you and Tom into it half the time. They're just hanging on for dear life and hoping for the best. That's nothing against them. That's what happens with most of these jockeys. Fair play to them, they have the balls to ride in these races. But you're looking at the likes of Patrick, Derek O'Connor, who else do you have? William, what's his name? Will Things fella.
Biddick.
Biddick, yeah.
Biddick, not Buick. Definitely
Biddick.
not Will Buick.
Oh no, but he's in Abu Dhabi do somewhere. But yeah, I think Embassy Garden, I think is a great bet of 5-2, and I think he'll actually win quite easily.
Tom, last one on day one, and then we're kicking off day two with Joe.
Yeah, I find it very, very hard to split the top two here. It's just come up here again. I've no inside knowledge of this, but everyone seems to be talking about this retirement winner for Derek O'Connor, and JP wanting to get him one. He's got a couple of chances. I presume he's going to be on Corbett's Cross here. And he has a great chance. Embassy Gardens as well. I just can't split the top two. I'd write off the run last year for Embassy Gardens. He was just way too keen. He basically bolted. He gave himself no chance. My angle into this race is I don't like Ziggy. You guys were hard on for bloody Ziggy at the start of the season when he was winning around Tremor and stuff, but I think that's faded. Sean's favourite phrase, Willie'll have one better, comes to mind. My angle into this is that there's not going to be many runners. If you go down through the next few in the betting, Florin Porter, I doubt he's going to run here. Meeting of the Waters won't run. Chianti Casico won't run. Precard Bragg won't run. Broadway Boy is an absolute stunk in each way bet 10-1. You're probably not going to win. I think one of the first two in the market will win, but you're going to get the each way money. He's a big Cheltenham course specialist. He's been absolutely fantastic there this season. And the next in the betting there is Kilbeg King, who nothing against him, but he's no course form, and you're taking on a course specialist. So, and he's rated £8 higher than him off levels. So I think Broadway Boy for me is an each way smash at 10-1.
I think they're going to RSA with him.
Okay, final selections, Andrew.
Embassy Gardens.
Sean.
Corbett's Cross.
Joe.
Nothing yet, Dave.
Yep. That's okay, Joe. Tom.
Broadway Boy, as long as Andrew said he doesn't go to the RSA, but as long as he runs here.
Willie, it's a great bet. I really like him. If he runs here, that's a great bet.
And I think Embassy Gardens, we're worried about Patrick and Mr. Van Gogh each way. So we're kicking on to day two. I'm going to let Joe take over the 5 main races on day two, like we did on day one, leaving out the handicaps. And we'll obviously touch on the, what's it called? Cross country and the bumper.
Excuse me, what's it called?
People were saying in the comments there, Maureen is out of the festival, confirmed out of the festival.
Breaking news.
So I'm going to leave Joe take over. I'm going for a little PP, and I'll be back. There's hard tablets. There's nothing I can do about it.
Not anymore.
Nice one, Dave. Okay, lads, we'll move on to the first race on day two. We've got the Bar in Bingham over 2 mile 5, Ballyburn at 4-5, Mystical Power at 3s, Il Atlantique at 7-2, Slade Hill at 4s, Reed and Tommy Wrong at 7s, 8-1 for Gidley Park, and 10-1 bar those. We might as well start off with the boss. I know we've discussed Ballyburn. What's your thoughts in regards to the Bear and Bingham?
It's more or less the same as the Supreme, really. It'll all depend if Ballyburn will run here or if Mystical Power runs here. I think whichever one runs here wins. I have Ballyburn and Mystical Power ahead of the rest of these. Slay Steel is a good horse, but I think he's a stair in the making for fences. He'll be really good next season over a fence. Il Atlantique, I think he's a bit soft in the finish. He's had to show that one more than once this season and last season when he got beaten his bumper. I'd be willing to take him on. Billericay Dickey, that is a fantastic fucking name. Did you ever hear that? Billericay Dickey. What a great name. Whoever needs to name that needs a pair of eyes.
Imagine that in Alfie's at 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night.
Billericay Dickey. Oh, yeah, I like that already. Yeah. Predator's goal, I'd give him no chance. Gidley Park needs to improve again. You're probably going to say this fella as well. Handstands, I think, has an unbelievable each way chance of 14-1 for Ben Pauly.
What, Ben Pauly?
He's finally remembered how to train horses again, which is a fantastic trait to have coming up to Cheltenham. But when all said and done, whichever one out of the William Steel, Mystical Power, Ballyburn, I would back them to win. I've backed Mystical Power just in case NRNB, just in case he runs here. And I wouldn't put anybody off back at handstands each way because He's done it before with that
Willoughby Court.
Willoughby Court beating Neon Wolf back in the day. But yeah, Mystical Power, Ballyburn, whichever one runs here will win. But handstands each way is a great bet as well.
Nice dark horse. Andrew, Dave, you seem pretty keen on handstands as well from your reaction. Is he the one, or do you still fancy the likes of Ballyburn, etc.?
I fancy the top of the market, and whatever a horse really runs probably has a decent chance, same as every year. Quite like Slade Steele, I've always liked him. For those kind of bets, I'll be waiting to the day, but I have actually backed handstands each way. He beat Nicky's Grade 1 horse, is a Django Bay, the same colours as the other one, that Jinko Blue. They're very weird names. Probably gone a little bit underrated, and it was the same kind of story with Willoughby Court when Ben Pauling won it with Willoughby Court. He was a bit underrated, and he bet Neon Wolf that year, so I backed him each way, but we'll wait to the day for my main selection probably.
Okay, and Sean, what about you?
Yeah, look, I'm going to take it that Ballyburn is running the Supreme, and I'll give me a view that way. Tom, you might want to make sure you're sitting down there and you're cheered it steady, because there's a Henry de Bromhead horse coming your way. And
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Yeah, look, there's a piece of form here, and we might be looking back on the Saturday at the Cheltenham Festival and saying, why did we not just follow this the whole way through? And I'll go back to the DRF Grade 1, and it's going to be Ballyburn, Slade Steele. You have King of Kingsfield and Absurd up the top of the county market. There's a possibility of 3 Cheltenham Festival winners coming out of that race, and I think in hindsight on the Saturday, it's either going to look shit hot or it's going to be blown up in smoke, and I'm going to take the view that it's going to be shit hot, because I think they're running that race is head and shoulders above any novice race ran this year, and I think the step up and trip will suit Slade Steele. He had no issue, if this gets tactical, he had absolutely no issue travelling with Ballyburn the last day until Ballyburn found that extra gear and just a better horse than him and kicked away after the last. He went away and won. But I looked through this, Idle Antique's a soft horse. He's only won twice for Willie, being beaten 3 times. I don't know whether he's a workhorse at home that's just going to keep doing that, because he hasn't done on the track the way the talk is. I look down and then say to myself, look, realistically, Mystical Power is probably going to run here as well. I'd fancy that race at the DRF is stronger than Mystical Power's form, and Mystical Power can be a bit sketchy jumping, and I'd be worried if the taps get turned on here if he was to hit a hurdle. I don't know if he'll get away with it. So Slade Steele at 4-1 I think is a very good bet.
Nice one, Sean. And Tom, who do you fancy for the Baron Bingham?
Yeah, I was thinking Ballyburn would come here, but if he doesn't and Mystical Power does, then I would take Mystical Power. Just to remind everyone goes on about, JP splitting them up. Like, I don't know how much he owns, but JP doesn't own Mystical Power on his own. Like, John Magnier and Rich Ritchie has obviously got the mare. They went to Galileo, so I presume it's a full share, and JP got in there as well. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's as clear cut as he's splitting them up. But yeah, I mean, one's going to run here, one isn't, aren't they? And whoever does is going to be a fairly short price favourite. Slade Steele, Dave, I'm with you there. I think he's got a hell of a chance. I really like the way he stayed on behind Ballyburn. I think he could be another Henry horse who goes there, runs well, and maybe improves there for a fence.
Okay, and your final selections, Andrew.
Ballyburn or Mystical Power, whichever one runs, handstand each way.
Dave?
If I had to choose right now, Mystical Power.
Sean?
Yeah, I'll take Slade Steele once Ballyburn's in the Supreme.
And Tom?
Yeah, the same as Andrew there. Mystical Power or Ballyburn, whichever runs.
Perfect. And it'll be Mystical Power for me. I like the fact that he's got a nice turn of foot. I think that obviously bode well in this race. Okay, on to the Brown Advisory Novices Chase, the 3-miler. We've got Factor File in here at 4-5. Stay Away Fair at 5-2. Monty Star, Great Jumper at 9-2. Great Dawning at 11-2. And any price you like for the remainder. Dave, let's start with you here. Factor File looks like he's on course for the Brown Advisory. Is it a good thing?
I'd say Tom and Sean probably think he's a good thing. I think he's a very good horse. Probably would have preferred him in the Turners, if I'm honest. Wouldn't be surprised if he wins. I'd say fair enough. might have him in an old multiple or something along the way. But I like the same horse as you, Joe. I think he's a good each way bet at 9-2. It's a typical Tom each way bet. I think you'd be hard pushed to see him out of the top three, especially with the record of Henry Chasers and Henry at the festival. So Monty Star each way. I don't like Stay Away Faye. I know some people love him, but I just can't have him with that form with Giovinco and all that. It's not good enough for me. And the Albert Bartlett last year wasn't a great race either. So Monty Star each way.
It might cut up a fair bit this race as well. When you look through the market, there's not too many that you can guarantee are going to turn up here, are there? Really? Sean, how about you?
Yeah, look, you hit the nail on the head there, Joe. I think this could be 6-7 runners at best. You might scratch the 7. I don't even know whether you'll get that, to be quite honest with you. And if it becomes a tactical race, I definitely wouldn't want to be on Stay Away Faye, because we've seen what he's done when races have got tactical, especially at Sandown. I think he wants a strongly run race to see the best of him. The run at Cheltenham the last day, it baffled me that he was even going there, to be honest, and he didn't light me up, and talking as if he was going there probably 70% and he was going to find a hell of a lot coming to the Cheltenham Festival. They've been banging out that there's so much improvement to come from him. I just don't see it. But this Factor Foil, look, he's my best bet that we took on the anti-post, and I think he's rock solid. What he's done the last 2 runs, the first day he's been beaten by American Mike and people sort of threw him to the wayside, but undoubtedly he's improved about 20 pounds to Christmas, where he's come and absolutely bolted up. He took the race up halfway down the back and said good luck to you, and he beat Zanahir and Manila Kakuna, not looking at it literally, but the both of them have both come out and won their races respectively after. Then you go to the DRF, where you see an absolute monster performance, in my opinion. Gaelic Warrior and him went out. They went past the stands and they've gone to go into the back straight, and Gaelic Warrior's gone to take a pull, and Mark Walsh has kicked up and got right onto his quarters and said, no, we're going to keep going. And in similar style, they've gone right down the back. He's taken it up at the fourth last, Gaelic Warrior's hit it, and he said good luck to him. He's gone, goodbye. He's gone and won as easy as he wanted. He's broken Gaelic Warrior. Gaelic Warrior looked a superstar, unbeaten, went to Limerick, won his grade 1 on the bridle, and everyone was screaming about him. This lad has gone and literally thrown him by the wayside, make him look like a handicapper. As you know, I do the times on that, and the comparison to Hartwood, you are 50 lengths ahead of that at the fourth last. Like, this was a mega performance. He still also finished up 10 lengths ahead of Hartwood, even though he was eased down and practically walked after the last fence. It was a proper monster performance. He's gone, William Munns is talking about him as a future Gold Cup horse. He's to go and win this race. He's shown me he has the class. What we've seen at Leopardstown, although it was a 2-horse race, 2 very good horses, and he's shown me there that he definitely has star qualities. It was the best performance of the DRF, in my opinion. I think he'll have no worries over 3 miles, and I think he'll take some beating in this.
Fair enough. Tom, anything to add? Are you in the Factor File camp as well, or are you looking elsewhere?
Yeah, been in it for a while, Joe. I've been in since we went to the pub the day we won at Leopardstown over Christmas. So I did the card, and I just latched onto him that day. He was 5-4 into 4-6 that day, and he absolutely destroyed horses. My only worry with Factor File is, will he be burnt out by the time he gets the Gold Cup next year? And if he isn't, will he be burnt out when he wins the Gold Cup next year? Will he be burnt out in 2026? Because we're going to come out the 2024 Cheltenham Festival, and the horse who's going to be on our lips is Factor File. This horse is a monster. He's an absolute freak. You do that at once at Leopardstown, where you kick on down the back and you just break horses. Horses can't race from that far out there. Jockeys know they can't. They just couldn't go with him. He absolutely annihilated them. And you do it once, you say, right, might be a freak thing. I got abused going into the Dublin Racing Festival because I was taking on Gaelic Warrior, but I couldn't not take him on with this horse. He absolutely broke him. Did anything come out about Gaelic Warrior afterwards?
Yeah, he's shit going left-handed.
Broken soul.
That's what it is.
Heartbroken.
Shit going left-handed.
Yeah, you got heartbreak after it.
He
literally
broken. He got broken. He absolutely destroyed him. This horse breaks horses, and I'm not normally this mad keen. This is like literally now one of my favourite horses in training. He is going to go here. He's going to absolutely annihilate them. people are saying, I know he was a bigger price. You could get 7-4 non-running a bet, which was a great bet a few weeks ago. He's now even money. I think there's still value in even money. I think you go off 4-7. As Sean said, there's hardly going to be any runners here. Gray Dornan's going to go out elsewhere. Sando Clegane can't run against him. He'll be beaten 10 out. Broadway Boy should definitely go for the national and trade. Giastinko's going for a handicap because that's what he is, a handicap. Maybe go back to Perth in April, Sean. Embassy Gardens is going for national and trade. Ginny's Destiny is going for the Turners. Gaelic Warrior is definitely not going to take him on again. Facile Vega, I'd love to see it. So you're looking at Stay Away Faye and Monty Starr. Like, he's just going to annihilate them.
Like if that is the case, 2 stairs there, he has a wicked turn of toe. I will be absolutely cursing Mark Walsh if he takes this up at 4 out or anything like it. I will be praying that he's sitting until he gets to the third last, because there's not a hope the two of them have more gears than him. If he's able to hold on to Factorful to the bin and send them off the bin, they will not catch him. Not a hope.
I'm going to be coming to free out, Sean, and I'm going to be doing the state man dance. I'm going to be like, woo-hoo!
He's gonna have to hold on to him, isn't he? Behind Monty Starr, though, just because of his jumping. Like, Monty Starr is a savage jumper. Like, he doesn't touch a twig, but he goes forward as well. But like you said, Tom, the performance of Factor File, it just looks too big to ignore, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. And someone said there, breaking a horse that can't go left-handed in a match. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Gaelic Warriors run well at the Cheltenham Festival. Like, he isn't as good left-handed. Definitely, I 100% agree. That horse couldn't even get over the last. You know, he just annihilated. He took it up down the back and off he went. He's going to do exactly the same again as Cheltenham. And he's going to go off about 4-7. I'm going to do length specs, the whole thing, the whole shebang on this.
Go on, Pablo.
The whole shebang.
Wow.
All right, Andrew, are you just as keen as Tom on Factor File?
Oh, I'm doing a Tom, all right. I'm getting windy as fuck about this fella.
Oh, you really? Why? Are you concerned it was a 2-runner race that he won? Because before the race, we weren't talking about him in the same light as what we are after winning that race.
Leading up to DRF, I expected him to be Gaelic Warrior. Gaelic Warrior is not half the horse he is going left-handed. He's not. It's just a plain and simple fact. The only horse he beat going left-handed won at Dundalk last week, for the love of God. This race takes a hell of a lot of winning. Not every superstar wins this race. Some staying bastards win this thing. And he might be too flashy for this. If he ran in the Turners, I would have every cent I have, every cent Dave has. I don't know how many cents Tom has, but it's about that length.
Too many.
But it's just the 3 miles is a worry for me. You're going against now stare and stay away Faye. I'm on anti-post, so to back him now, probably not, to be honest. Monty Starr, very good jumper. Could have any amount of proving. Gray Dawning would terrify the life out of me. I know he's an absolute mental bastard, but he could be the one that's tracking Factor File up to the last. And this fella has a fucking turn of foot. If he turns up here,
for the Turners.
That's what I'm saying. If he turns up here and doesn't go for the Turners, he will give him a heart attack. Stay away fating. It all depends on how fast they go. If they go off like the Clappers, he'd have a chance. I just think something weird is going to happen. I can see Factor File getting beat. Would I lame? Not a hope of hell, but it's just a gut feeling. I don't know right now what I'd take him on with. If Grey Dawn ran, I'd take him on with Grey Dawn each way at 7-1. But there's just something telling me the Factor File might get beaten. I think he's just too flashy. To me, as we've seen in the last number of years, the go-to thing for your next Gold Cup horse is to run him in the Turners and keep him away from this race, because it breaks so many horses. That was my only worry with him. Besides that, his jumping has been unbelievable. He travels really, really well, but he hasn't had a race in his last 2 races. What's going to happen when push comes to shove and he has to fight someone off? Will he do it? We've seen against in the bumper last year, he couldn't get past a Dream to Share. I know Dream to Share was the flatbread horse, but that was on soft ground where everyone thought Dream to Share wouldn't act on, but he ploughed through it and would have suited Factor File. That's my only worry. But I wouldn't blame at all. I'd sit back and watch if Grey Dawn doesn't go, because I've stayed away from back months ago, but I wouldn't invest in it right now.
All right, fair enough. And we'll go on to the selections then. Dave, who's your winner?
I'll go Monty Star to do what Indo couldn't do and Monolly couldn't do.
Oh no, it's still not over that. And here comes Champ.
Oh, amazing, wasn't it?
You can see it when he jumps the last. Ah, oh, fuck! Here he comes.
Sean, back to far for you.
Yeah, back to far for me. Yeah, definitely.
And Tom, back to far for you as well. Sorry, yeah.
Sorry, Joe. I thought you said Tom. Yeah, no, fact to file for me. Win 5 lengths, win 10 lengths, might even throw a bit more. I love this. Wins on the front. Honestly, lads, we're going to do the review show and we're like, oh my God, that horse is a freak.
Love it. Andrew?
If Grey Dawn wins, I back him each way. Runs, I mean. If he runs, I back him each way.
That's fine. All right then, lads. On to the highlight of day 2. We've got the Queen Mother Champion Chase. Al Fabiolo at 4-9. John Bon at 3-1. Edward Stone at 7s. Fernie Hollow at 9-1. Captain Guinness at 20s. Any price you like for the rest. I was going to start with Sean, but Dave, I know you love a bit of Fernie Hollow. Is there any chance that he turns up here?
No, I can't see him running. It's not really a Willie Mullins thing to do to run a horse so quickly after coming back from injury. And to be honest, I don't think this is much of a race. I think Al Fabiolo is way better than John Bon. Seen someone else said in another podcast, it could have been Jamie Codd, if they had waited for this race to do what they did the last race with Edward Stone and surprised horses by letting them lead, maybe have a chance, but the cat's out of the bag. And to be honest, the faster horses go, the better Al Fabiolo is. John Bon, to me, doesn't like Cheltenham. None of his races there have been much good. He hasn't done, maybe not much good because he's been running grade 1s, but he hasn't performed to the level of other tracks at Cheltenham. And El Fabiolo is just a better horse. So, pretty easy one, this one, I think.
El Fabiolo for Dave. Sean?
Yeah, look, you're talking about the lads slag me now for getting stuck into short ones. You can back this lad at 4-6 and you can back Lossiemouth at 4-7. I know where all my money is going anyways, because 4-6 about this lad, like, look, he's a 2-5 poke at least. He's gonna beat John Bon. John Bon the last day, look, just jumping, he hasn't been the same. I had this theory as well that he probably shows his best form prior to Christmas, and after Christmas he's not so good. He's done it twice now. Haydock, he sort of scrapped up in his novice chasing, in his novice hurdle. Then he's scrappy at Warwick in his novice chase, and now he's scrappy again before going to the Cheltenham Festival. And Nicky Henderson must have been pulling his wig out, because the second media morning you go and watch John Bon schooling and he goes and fluffs one of the fences, you won't be seeing the camera going into 7 boroughs for about 10 years now, I'd say, after that. But El Fabiolo's a machine. Look, what he done at Dublin Racing Festival, I know it's scary to say. I think he's gone on again from last year. He's just matured. He's a big horse. He's a big framed horse. I'd say he's properly filled out now, and you're getting to see his full potential. What he done at Dublin Racing Festival, he absolutely just pushed Dino Blue aside, and Dino Blue has been running right up the form this season very, very well. He's beat her hard on the bridle, and El Fabiolo in here, 4-6, I'd be saying do it a lot on him. I think he has an absolute. I can't see John Bon turning that form. I just don't see it.
I think he's 4-9, though, not 4-6. Just to
you can back him 4-6 on the exchanges still.
Well, that's pretty mad. To be fair, that is a big price, and he's got that year. He's a year younger than Al Fabiolo and John Bon as well, so he could still improve. I like the fact he's built into his frame this year. Like you said, he's a big horse, but last year he looked like he was still leaving a bit inside himself. But this year he's filled out, looks a much better animal, doesn't he? Okay,
and that's Dave touched on. Sorry, I meant to say Edward Stone going out the front. I think the quicker these go. You seen him at Cork when there wasn't a gallop. He went and bowled it on. He got a gallop at the Dublin Racing Festival. I think if Edward Stone goes instead of gallop here, it'll suit him down to the ground. Yeah,
I can't see him beaten. Tom, what do you think?
Yeah, look, it's El Fabulous, isn't it? He's an absolute freak of nature as well. I love the at the races post of John Bon schooling. John Bon looking really good for Cheltenham, and he's walking through fences. Just shows they'll just make up any shit they want you to believe, won't they? I think Sean, if you can get 4-6 on Betfair, that's a good bet.
Oh, steam in, Pablo. Stank man dance. Take her all, bookie.
Him and Factor Fire, lovely little double.
Andrew, who'd you fancy?
Look, El Fabiolo is Miles' best horse in this. John Wobble will be wobbling going up the hill after trying to chase Edward Stone's arse. I would love to see Fernie Hollow run here just to see him get really close and you just
He
won't run.
But yeah, look, El Fabiolo, people are always crabbing about his jumping, and then John Wobble goes and tries to take the fourth last home in a Cheltenham, and then he tries to take the second fence up the hill at 7 Barrows home with him. Surprised Paddy Power haven't paid out in Al Fabiolo yet. Something they would do. I think he wins. He wins as easy as he wants and load him up in a double with Lossy Mouth.
That backfired for them last year, mind, didn't it? They paid out on John Bon. Of course, he didn't go on to win it.
He did, and I collected. I was fantastic. Yeah. And then he went and got beat. I was buzzing.
Living life. Right, okay, well, I won't go around the group. That's a unanimous decision there for Al Fabiolo. But we'll move straight on to the cross-country chase. 3 miles, 5.5 furlongs. I assume this is where you wanted to go next, lads. Manila Indo, all the way into 7-4 favourite now. Delta Work at 7-2. Galvin at 7-2. Cocoa Beach at 9-2. Conflated at 9-2. And double figures for the rest from there. Sean, I will start with you now because I skipped you last time.
Yeah, no worries. Come in here, and I hadn't had a proper look at this race since Conflated went to the wayside. And I can't quite get over why Delta Hook's 4-1 now, to be honest with you. He's come and won this race the last 2 years. If we get heavy ground, there is not a chance he's going off 4-1. Not a hope in hell. Now, maybe that is why it's factored in to him being 4-1. But he's come and running this race twice, and he's gone and beat Tiger O when everyone hated him, and he's gone and beat Galvin. He gets his conditions. He goes around the track. I think he's another one of these. I said I've touched on earlier on. I have 3 for the week that are each way muggy bets. Astro Dime was the first. Delta Work will be the second. I cannot see how he's going to be out of places. I think Delta Work at the price he is now, he will get properly backed on the day if it's heavy. You've Milena Indo. I just question him full stop. I know he sort of ran that eye-catching race the last day. I just question him in the finish. I don't know anymore if he's fully in it. And if they were going up the hill together, I fancy Delta Work after the last 2 years. He's been Tiger Roll and Galvin pulling out all the stops. So I think at 4-1, he's a great bet.
Yeah, nice one, Sean. Tom, who'd you fancy for the cross-country?
I think it's tough. I think it's tough, to be honest, Joe. Look, I'm going to be cheering on Manila Indo. I love Manila Indo. I thought he's ran a cracker. Interesting, Henry said as well that he'd been over to school as well at another one of the meetings, and then he ran so well in the at the December meeting when he had to give weight around all round and a lot of it at that, and he was still only beating 5 lengths. I think he still shows his enthusiasm. He's fresh going into it. You know, he's got great Cheltenham form. He's been second in the Gold Cup and he's won one. So, yeah, he's 2-1, but I think he's got a good chance. But, yeah, it's not a massive betting heat for me, to be honest.
Andrew?
Yeah, I'm the same as Tom. I love Indo. Big bloody teddy bear that he is. To me, that was it was a very good run the last day. I don't know, Sean. I don't know where you're getting that. He doesn't have a battle in him anymore. To me, I
thought that's the one thing he did the last day was battle all the way to the line.
Yeah, and he just got done with the weight he had to carry. That was a fantastic run. His form around Cheltenham gives you massive hope. He's won already this season. I know Delta Workers is going to be his main target. I genuinely would have Cocoa Beach finished ahead of Delta Work. I was really impressed with what he done at Punchestown, the way he done it. I'm getting absolutely shafted with conflators. All year, Goro. Oh, yeah, it's the cross-country horse, the best horse I've ever seen jumping around a cross-country course. 5th, 3rd, unseized. Lovely. Here we go. Yeah, going to Ryanair. Fuck you, big Goro. I'm not bitter over it at all. Look, I could talk about this race, go through the horse, but when push comes to shove, I'm going to back Indo. End the story.
Gordo's got in his head.
Love you, Gordo.
I can't believe he just said, fuck you, big Gordo.
I love the way he's have to scam.
And our next special guest is Gordo.
We love scammers on this podcast.
Dave, who wins the cross country, mate?
This is a stupid fucking race. Shouldn't
Shut
be back
up!
to the
It's the best
festival.
race of the
Oh,
fucking week.
Dave.
It's a stupid fucking race. It's just,
You know
Sean hates the veterans chases. This is just a stupid fucking race.
And this is fun. Then this is
No,
not
it's,
bad.
it's
You're
stupid.
a miserable bastard. You know that?
And Prengard is going to win.
Good times.
Uh,
Fairness to Tom now. He whipped out that other French show.
I think people are back in Manila Indo for sentiment more than anything else. Sean said it. He stole it from me. Delta Work is a good bet.
I think you'll get a bigger price on the day on Indo. I think they'll take Indo one.
Definitely. You don't get short than 7-4, will he? That's way it's too short.
No, you can't. He's not Tiger all around like that, I don't think.
You're stressing you.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, conflated at annoying me.
Stressing there.
I thought this
fucking
is
playing with the thing there.
Gordo gives us a gift every year in the cross country case.
Let's
and
move on.
I thought it was like sound Gordo conflated, good man. Love you, Gordo. Now Gordo, you're fucking me over, mate.
28 races. This is not a good one, so let's just move on.
Yeah, in your opinion, I love this fucking race.
You don't even need the selections, Emma. Go straight on. Right, 5:30, champion bumper. We've just had the news, obviously, Mooring isn't running, but we've got Yalon Dudary at 9-2. Jasmine DeVoe at 11-2, slightly on the drift on the exchanges as well. You've got Romeo Coolio at 6s, Tishan at 6s, the Yellow Clay at 7s, you ought to know at 9s, and then double figure for the rest. Tom, who'd you like in the bumper?
Ooh.
Well, I think it's just broken that Maureen has got a setback and she's out. My analysis of this race was all about how Maureen was the worst favourite at the Cheltenham Festival and she couldn't win based on only having one run. I think, look, I was looking at this last night. I think the double green have got quite a good hold on it. Set a Chance was only beaten short ahead by William Money, who came out and bolted up the other day. I'd give him a good chance. And Jasmine DeVoe absolutely bolted up at Nace, so I'd give him a good chance as well. And Jalon Dudary, Gordon's been on about this for ages as his bumper horse. I know Sean got dragged into a little bit of FOT hype with Romeo Coolio, but this is the Gordon Elliott bumper horse. And
stole from Joshua Stacey.
Yeah, lots of runs, lots of experience, and yeah, he'd be another one. Very, very tricky. I actually want to throw in another one because I think somebody brought this up. How many relations of Pimlico horses are going to get mentioned on the show?
Should just pick 5.
This is the first one. You said I couldn't pick 5, so I'm picking 4.
Tommy said you couldn't have 7 selections, so we're not here at 12 o'clock tonight.
No,
nearly like 5. That's the whole point is to keep people interested.
This is a race.
This is the bumper.
Exactly. You said 5, so I'm going with 4. Fleur Fusil is the bumper winner from Leopardstown, the Mayor's bumper winner. She won very well there. I went and watched that back. She's a half sister to our beloved Alice Averill. And she looks one to follow. Willie gave a weird update on her. He said, yeah, the owners want to go to Cheltenham for a day out, basically. But I actually think she's a bit better than that. Relegate went on and won this bumper at a massive price after winning the same race at Leopardstown. So I give her a bit of a chance each way, and she's probably the one at back. But again, look, it's the bumper. I think we all have a few late bets on it, don't we?
Yeah, fair enough. Can't see a mare winning the bumper, though, against this crop myself. Tom, what do you think? Well, it's easy to say now Maureen's out, isn't it? I'm not being smart there, by the way. Andrew, who do you fancy in the bumper?
There's one 25-1 who I'm actually quite keen on, and that's Brecon Castle. Won a bumper at Cheltenham in November. He beat Firefly, who was after coming out and beating Secret Squirrel easily. Secret Squirrel was in behind Jericho the Weapony. Moonshine, who was third, bolted up last week by 54 lengths up in Newcastle.
Diamond Dice won as well.
Diamond Dice won and when he won the time before that as well, and he beat 3 lengths by what's his name, Corton Act. He's a very good traveller. He's kind of not fist the profile, but he has the runs that tick the box for this kind of race. He has to run 3 times this season. He's at the win a bumper at Cheltenham. That bumper is working out really well. The horse he finished second to, Let It Rain, was touted up for this race with Dan Skelton's horse, but she got taken out a few weeks ago. He finished 3 1/4 lengths behind her after trying to take her on up to for a lot of that race. I think he's massively overpriced at 25-1. He's battle hardened. He knows his job. I think he'll run a massive race at 25-1.
Nice dark shout there for Andrew. And Dave, who do you like in the bumper?
Yeah, same horse. I think the English will win this. I think Brecon Castle will win. A lot of these bumpers, you need a horse with experience to win it. Very hard to go into the bumper and win it off one run. I like Jalan Dewdery, but getting Brecon Castle around 25-1 is just too big of a price to be turning down. Andrew kind of touched on the form there. You can go into it a lot. There's a lot of winners out of the bumper. A lot of the horses have come out over hurdles. Celtic Dino is another horse that won the bumper at Ascot. He was in there behind the Dan Skelton mare. The form stacks up. It wouldn't bother me that he got beat by Let It Rain. He was giving her a load of weight that day as well. She's been talked up as a very good horse. So I think something at a big price will win this. So I'd be happy to take him.
Kubo's giving out about the way we pronounce it.
Brecon Castle.
Kubo, voice note, please, and we'll play it. Thanks very much in advance.
Yeah,
He's fuming. I can't do it. I really can't do it.
Human.
Okay, 2 interesting shots for Brecon Castle. Sean, who you got for the bumper?
Yeah, look, the lads know they slag me all the time. I took 2 stabs anti-post. My horses, Romeo Coolio was one and Tishan was the other. Out of the two of them, I'd be firmly in the Tishan camp. He looked very, very good on debut. He came with a big reputation from point to point. He absolutely dotted up and smashed everything on the day. He's gone to Exeter. He's done what he's had to do on the bridle. He's going to come here. Look, I would have preferred he might have had a bit more experience going to the Cheltenham Festival. He done similar with Captain Teague last year.
Sorry, we have it. Sorry. We have the pronunciation.
Brecon.
It's called Brecon Castle.
Yes.
Is that Kubo?
That's
Kubo, yeah.
Straight in, that's classic. Love it.
But sorry, back in the Tishan, he won very well on debut and he's coming out with a big reputation. I think he could run well. But at the prices at the moment, look, I said it in the group chat, this says the chance. He's still 16-1. I don't know if he's going to go because they do have Yasmin DeVoe, but you'd have to give him a big shout now. Like, he came with a big reputation and he was beaten on debut by William Money. You went and seen what he done the weekend. William Money absolutely dotted up in a winner's bumper the last day, and there was a horse in there in behind who was placed behind the enabler. There's a couple of collateral form lines with the DRF bumpers, and William Money absolutely pissed up on Saturday and Sunday, whatever day it was. And this says the chance. It got into a sprint finish down the Navan Hill, and William Money definitely has a turn of foot. Says the chance ran all the way to the line and another 50 yards and he might have went by him. I think a strongly run race might suit him. But if he's to come in here, 16-1 is a big price.
All right, nice one, Sean. And for me, this is one of my bets of the entire meeting, actually, and it doesn't usually come in a bumper, but I really like You Ought to Know, who was second to Jeroboam Mashan, of course, when we were all at the DRF. Now, if you go back to the beginning of this year, Mullins actually mentioned 3 horses. He mentioned Mirazor West. He mentioned another, I can't remember who. But he also mentioned You Ought to Know as one of his best horses for the upcoming season. Now, he did actually tout him for like the hurdles at the time, so we were expecting him to go to the Supreme. He was the initial favourite. He came off from a long layoff and actually ran a massive race there behind Jeroboam Mashan. And Mullins said before the race that he was going to come on plenty for it as well. For me, the best bumper form we've actually seen is Jeroboam Mashan. Don't get me wrong, we'd have had to question would he have been able to put up the same performance on a faster surface. But either way, You Ought to Know was incredibly eye-catching to me behind him in that race. I know a lot of people are talking about the yellow plays, the late fast finisher, but to me, You Ought to Know is going to come on plenty here. And for me, he is the number 1 Willie Mullins horse in the bumper. Okay, that's the end of day 2 for the time being. What's next then, boss?
Okay, we are going to take a little intermission, a little break. We have a video from Gavin Lynch with some selections and some chat. We are then going to be back with day 3. I'll take day 3 and Joe will finish out day 4, and then the handicaps. We won't spend too long on the handicaps, maybe a couple of minutes each, just a couple of horses. Tom will not spend 6 minutes on the Grand Annual mentioning 7 horses like he did last year. He's been warned. So stick with us. Couple of minutes here of an intermission. Same as before. If you're new, please like and subscribe and belt away.
Good evening, Waterford. Here are the votes from the Meath jury. Hope you're keeping well, lads. Hi to Andrew, Dave, Tom, Sean and Joe. And Joe, hope they're looking after you, that wild bunch. And if you're looking for a handy fiver, Joe, maybe play the lads at a game of golf and you get a few quid. Don't want to talk about too many shorties. I'm personally hoping for Ballybourne to win the Supreme. Factify maybe in the Brown Advisory. Brighter days ahead to be good in the Mayor's Novice, and also Dino Blue in the Mayor's Chase. And don't mind Andrew saying that she won't stay, she will, as she showed a couple of years ago at Fair Years over 2.5. Going to pick out a few each way priced horses on day one, the Tuesday. Going to go for an Irish horse in the Ultima. Ireland haven't won it in 18 years, so hoping that changes. If Meeting of the Waters goes here, off 147, strong chance. 6-1 each way. Won the Paddy Power off 130, up to 145, £2 higher. He's very unexposed, and I think there's more to come from that horse. On the Wednesday, Built by Ballymore is an interesting candidate in the Coral Cup. Martin Brazel and Sean Mulryan were very unlucky the last couple of years. Got beaten in a photo finish with Fast or Slow and an Epic Song last year, so I'd say they're hoping for a bit of revenge. Runs in this off 139. Keep an eye on the market to see if there's going to be money for that, but it was quite impressive on his last two starts. On Thursday, going to go for Gabby's Cross at 12-1 each way in the Pertemps final. I think it's a weak contest. This was a decent chaser. His last two runs were over hurdles, faced an impossible task against Buddy One and also Jody Ted. Runs here of 133 and certainly has a decent each way chance. 2 on the Friday, I'm going to go against Sergino. I don't think he's beaten a lot, although he's very impressive. And we'll keep an eye on the form of his horses over the next 10 days. But I'm going to go for Magborough each way at 6-1 in the Triumph Hurdle. Excuse me, it was quite impressive in Otay last April, and then first run was back at the DRF. I think he'll improve a lot for that. He's a fine big stamp of a chaser, and he certainly has an each way chance. We will also go for Key to Bourbon. I've backed Sam Majest and Key to Bourbon for the Martin Pipe. Sam Majest's price has now gone quite short, but I still think there's a bit of value in Key to Bourbon at 13-2. Hoping for a good jockey book, and we'll see what happens there. And I think the step back up to 2.5 miles from 2 miles at Clonmel will be a huge help, and he's quite unexposed as well. In the Mayor's Chase, as I said, I'm hoping Dino Blue wins that. Very disappointed that West Balboa is not going in the Mayor's Chase. I was looking forward to seeing would she get entered or get supplemented, but no sign of her. Andrew told me to say that, so just winding you up there about West Balboa. Look, lads, have a great night, have a great festival. We shall chat soon and hopefully on a golf course. Take care. Thanks, bye.
First off, I didn't mean to say that. Second off,
Gavin, if tipping doesn't work for you, Gavin, you can try stand-up comedy, because I'm sure
it's absolutely good.
You didn't back off on a at one point, didn't you, Tom?
What's that, Sean? I genuinely didn't. I didn't hear.
I said you did back off the Mayor's Chase at one point.
No, I didn't back off the Mayor's Chase.
For anyone that didn't get time to write down the selections, I wrote them down here. So, Gavin put up Meeting of the Waters at 6-1 in the Ultima. Built by Ballymore, 14s in the Coral Cup. Gabby's Cross at 12-1 in the Pertemps. Marlborough 6s in the Triumph, and Key de Bourbon 13-2 in the Martin.
Okay, we'll rock on. Day 3, and Joe's back just in time. Day 3, I don't think there's as many races on Friday and Thursday, but we 4 on Thursday, and the first one is the Turner's Novices Chase. Ginny's Destiny's Favourite 11-4, Grey Dawning 3-1, Gaelic Warrior 9-2, Vega 6-1, Iroko 6-1, and then it's 7-1 bar. Joe, you can go first. The Turners.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of Grey Dawning, Dave, until sort of recently, really. The closer we get to the festival, the more I'm starting to fancy Grey Dawning over Ginny. on the basis that Factor File is going to be going to the Browns. Now, don't get wrong, Ginny's Destiny, absolute brilliant jumper. It's an absolute credit to Nichols that he's getting him to jump so well. But he only beat Grey Dawning by 3/4 of a length. And I know Ginny's Destiny's improving, but I think Grey Dawning would have learnt plenty for that. And despite Ginny's Destiny having the best of the two that day, everything went right for Ginny. To his own credit, though, he jumps really nicely. He travels well at the same time. But I think Grey Dawning's the one with the bigger engine. So I think he's the one that's actually got scope for a bit more improvement. And again, not necessarily a horse that I've taken to until recently, but the closer we get, I am really starting to warm to Grey Dawning. I think he's going to have a nice engine at the end of the race. Again, Ginny's Destiny needs everything to go right. I just think there's a bit more still to come from Grey Dawning. I think the team know it as well.
Andrew?
I kind of thought, like, Facile, Facile Vega should be running here. Literally should be running here. Whether, if Grey Dawning wasn't here, I'd be putting him up. But I think Grey Dawning has more about him, has shown more than Facile Vega has shown. As Joe touched on, he was just barely beaten by Genie's Destiny after he walked through the second last at Cheltenham. How he got up to get that close to him was a miracle in itself. If he is delivered late at the last against Genie's Destiny, he'll win going away up the hill. Now, I hold my hands up when I said that Harry Skelton tried to win this on the bridle with him and whatnot at Cheltenham last time, but he clearly hates being jumping front on his own, so I hold my hands up and I was wrong. But if he is delivered at the last fence, he will sprint up this hill and I think he'll beat any of these. Can't have a Rocco, this FOT shite again. Every dog and their mother is putting up a Rocco, and I just don't get it. You've won one race around, where the hell did he even win? Where did he win?
Warwick.
The second was pulled up twice, and he won the last time around Ascot. Still, like, it's like you've missed nearly of all the season in your first proper race. You're going up against, in a Grade 1 horse, against a horse like Genie's Destiny, who's at the win his last three. Grey Dawn, who's at the win better race than Iroko's even stepped in foot on. Gaelic Warrior, where he runs, God only knows. Facile Vega, this is the trip for him. I'd hope this would bring on massive improvements. I put him up as a first selection anti-post. I went back months ago, so I won't go near him again. If Grey Dawn runs here, I would be very, very, very interested in having an investment in him. I'd nearly back him NRNB because I reckon he'll go off favourite.
Richard Hogan said, Dave, get Andrew to do Gavin's cycle in September.
He's had to try.
No chance.
Gavin's had
Andrew
to try
will
in
not die.
3 years to get me to do it, and I've turned up to 3 years, but I've sat in the bar and watched them all across the line. I went, like, Gav.
And I can safely say that's never going to happen. Even if you gave Andrew €10,000, he wouldn't do it.
Give me €10,000 and I'll do it.
You won't.
Oh, watch me.
Tom Turners.
Grey Dawning. Grey Dawning is one of my best bets of day 3, I think. We'll see how we get on in race 1. But yeah, like what Andrew said, saw someone say he's not fast enough, but like he definitely is fast enough. Like he'd have beaten Ginny's Destiny if he didn't walk through the bloody second last the other day. He's mightily impressive at Warwick. He's clearly improved massively for a fence. I'm mad keen on him. You look at the race as well in the past winners. You can win this race with stayers. York Hill won this race. Definitely Desoy won this race. Chantry House won this race. And Gallopin was obviously going to win it, wasn't he, in 2022? So I think you need a kind of a strong stayer because you probably got a decent gallop here. And I think Grey Dawning, I think he's a cracking bet, to be honest. I don't know where Gaelic Warrior is going to go, but I just worry about him after the last day. Iroko, it's a massive ask, isn't it? You couldn't back him. If it happens, you'd hold your hands up and say fair play, but you couldn't back him, I don't think. American Mike and Founder 50, I don't know where they're going to go, Arkle or RSA, and I'm not even going to talk about the other horse. So, yeah, Grey Dawn.
Sean?
Yeah, look, I think if the ground comes up...
You could get deleted out of WhatsApp groups now if you're not careful what you say on this next one. Not by us either, by some other people. Your privileges will be gone.
Ah,
I think if the ground comes up soft, well, look, you're asking me what about Festival Vega is basically what Tom's saying there. I think if the ground comes up soft, I can see him going in the Arkle, to be quite honest with you. Start of this week didn't start off great. The news that he wasn't the May West coming out of Willie's. It ends with Constitution Hill being possibly out of champion hurdle, and it was 2 stabs in the heart, and I might as well affect myself in the Liffey at one point. It was tough going, I'm not going to lie to you. But when you come to it, I don't think Festival Vega will be stepped up here to get heavy ground, soft or heavy ground on the first day. I think you go on the Arkle, and that makes Grey Dawn an absolute great bet in here. I agree fully with the lads. He's definitely a bet, no bet, because if the ground doesn't come up, I think if he's to run here, the ground is going to come up soft. Because otherwise he's going to go to 3 miles. If it's quick in any way, he's going to 3 mile race. So I think you're safe to take that no bet, because I'm absolutely convinced he has to go off short on Genie's Destiny. I don't get how he can be a bigger price than Genie's Destiny. Like, as you've seen, he went to Cheltenham and he made an absolute nuts of the second last. He still should have won the race, and he gave Genie's Destiny £3 that day. There's absolute certainty he turns that form, in my opinion, if he jumps. He jumps around there, that form will be torn with Genie's Destiny, and it makes him a strong favourite in my book. I don't think the trip will be an issue. You've seen him at Haydock. He took her up going out onto the second lap. He's a fast horse. He sat in behind. They went an absolute crazy gallop the last day, Broadway Boy and Apples Away, and he travelled on their tails. Absolutely no worry. I can see Skelton being right up in the van here as well, and I wouldn't. Normally you say, oh no, Hardy, don't kick on 6 furlongs out, but I've no worries that this horse will stay. So if they start getting racing a long way out, I won't be too worried. And I think at 3-1, he's an absolute cracking bet. I couldn't touch Gaelic Warrior off the back of the last day. He looked a broken horse, and you'd be brave to take him. And as Thomas touched on, Iroko coming in off one run, 130 days off the track, you let him run. You couldn't be backing him at that price. I just think 3-1 about Grey Dawn. He's possibly a 2-1, maybe a 15-day shot in the day.
Okay. If Faso does run at the festival, I'd like to see him run here, but you wouldn't know what to expect. And some of these are good jumpers. I'd say if he doesn't jump well, he'd be in trouble. I'd love to see him win, but it's more hopeful than anything else. And if I was picking right here, right now, I'd actually pick Genie's Destiny. I think he's been steadily progressive all season. I think I can understand Grey Dawning probably should have beat him at the start of the season or earlier in the season, but I quite like Genie's Destiny. He does things the right way. He's the one there that's most likely to not make a mistake. Grey Dawning has a mistake in him, but he's very good. But yeah, Genie's Destiny at the moment for me. We're on to the Ryanair. Banbridge is favourite, but if the ground is soft, probably won't see him. 10-3, Envoy Adam 4-1, Stage Star 5-1, Capadano 7s, Conflated 10s, Fildor 14s, and Appreciated 20s, and then 20-1 bar. I stuck up Envoy Allen in the last show for the anti-post. I'll stick with him. I think he's the most likely winner. Questioned the form of the Turners last show, Stage Star. Envoy's a good horse. Seems to only turn up at certain tracks, but he's very good at Cheltenham, very good at Down Royal. I don't think Banbridge will run. I think they'll save him for Aintree, so that would be him out of the equation. I did back Fildor each way. I got 40-1 each way. So I have him backed, but Envoy Allen, I think, will win this. Andrew?
The closer I get to Cheltenham and the more rain I see, the more I'm fearing for my 12-1 anti-post on Banbridge. That's been God's honest truth. If the ground is not anywhere suitable, he's not going to run. If you take him out of it, then Envoy Allen is head and shoulders above the lot of these. He's a 10-year-old. I don't want to be going near a 10-year-old at Cheltenham Festival, Grade 1. But the rest of them are like Stage Star. That race he won last year is terrible. Capadano, he won at Cheltenham last time, but I don't know if he's even going to run here. Conflate will travel like a travelly thing and then fall at the last like he always does. Fildor, I know we slag you about it, but he's a great each-way bet there. He's an improving young horse. Appreciated, I wouldn't back him with counterfeit money. Fugitive, the handicapper. Protector Ash, God only knows which one will turn up. A high senior has no open head. Classical getaway, you've Hitman, if Banbridge doesn't run here, Envoy Allen is a 6-4 shot.
Yeah, the only reason I back Fildor is because he's the only real up-and-coming younger horse in the race, and he's been running against horses that he can't really beat.
But look,
Invial.
if by a miracle we get a massive dry spell on the way up to Cheltenham, Banbridge is a young, improving horse. He's 8-year-old, but still, he's a fresh horse. His form out of his last run is working out really well. He's 2 from 2 at Cheltenham. He won the Martin Pipe. He won at the November meeting, not last year, the year before, over fences. That was over 2 miles. He has the speed. He stays this. This is his ideal trip. Ground is good. If he turns up a good soft ground, Banbridge will win, I would say. If you take Banbridge out of it, Envoy is head and shoulders above the rest of these.
Tom?
I'm mad keen on Phil Dore here. There's probably not much value in anti-post betting at this stage of the Cheltenham Festival, and you're better off waiting for extra places and all that kind of malarkey on the day. But I actually think there's some value in this market based on what you're saying. Banbridge is a very likely non-runner, I think. They are really, really ground dependent with him, and I don't think they're afraid to pull him out, are they? They did it last year, so I can't see him running, to be honest, at all. So you're taking out the 3-1 favourite out of the market, which is a massive, massive angle for me. And then you've got Phil Dore. Phil Dore's in here. It's mainly 10-1, isn't it? But I think he's a great bet each way. He's only a 6-year-old. He was second in the triumph behind Vauban in a very good juvenile campaign for him. And then look, let's face it, last year just didn't go well, did it? He looked like a very, very promising novice chaser. He went to Leopardstown at Christmas. He made a bad mistake down the back, and then the wheels just came off. They brought him back to Gorin. He won there, and then they went to Cheltenham over hurdles and kept him over hurdles at Fairyhouse, and he just ran bad. He's come back out this season looking a lot more like the horse he was. Second behind Dino Blue, giving her £7, and only got beaten a length and a bit, and she looks like a certainty for the mare's chase by all accounts. And then he's second behind El Fabiolo as well. At Cork in the Hillyway, and he's only beaten 4 lengths in a race that I think was pretty good. I know Mascada, she's a bit like Marmite, isn't she? People love her or hate her, but she can run very well and very bad, and I think she was on a fairly good going day that day. Jungle Boogie came out and won then in Tremor as well, in Frank the Form, and Vanillier is the favourite for the Irish National. So I think going up in trip, this lad's only 6. I love Envoy Allen. I'd be cheering him on, and my heart will be with him. But my head, as a 6-year-old, taking on horses like Conflated, Capadana, Stage Star, massively disappointing last year. Banbridge isn't going to run. 10-1. He falls into one of the best each way bets. Probably one of even the best bets of the week for me.
Sean?
Yeah, look, obviously as a touchdown, soft ground, Banbridge won't go. He's entry in the other festivals, and you'd have to think it's going to be on the soft side. Then you leave M5 Allen at the top. He's a 10-year-old. He won in the last 15 winners have been 10-year-olds. I'd be keen to take him on at his age now. And I come down on Capadano. I think he's a good price at 7-1. If Banbridge comes out, I definitely think he could be a 4-1 shot maybe on the day. I think he could come down massively in price. Look, he's a horse that did have a big reputation as a novice, and they didn't get no clean run. He ended up being off a low mark, and they chucked him in the National. He travelled too well last season. He's come back this season, and he's looked to put it together. He took a blow the first day, as many of Willies did. He went to the Christmas race where he was third behind Gallup in the Champ, right behind Jerry Colomb. Oyan Maximus was in behind, and that form's not looking too bad now, is it? He then goes to Cheltenham, gets absolutely punted off the boards at Cheltenham, and he's dotted up. He's absolutely dotted up there, and he's shown me that, look, he probably is the horse that he probably thought he was a couple of years ago. He went around there, he went a good lick out in front, and he didn't look to struggle at all. He's no entry in the Gold Cup. His only entry is here, so I think he has to run here unless he's supplementing for the Gold Cup. He jumps around. I think he'd be fine. If there's an awful lot of pace in this race, I think, if they all go. The likes of Stage Star, Conflated, Protectorate, all want to be forward. I think this could be a right stamina test, and this will only play into his hands. And Stage Star, I don't know what to make of him. I think he could have left all at Cheltenham in that handicap when he nearly came down at the last and had to dig deep. He's pulled up the last day, and you've got to be, I know Nichols saying he turned him around. You've got to be very cold on him. So Capadano is 7-1.
Joe?
I'm not in the Banbridge camp, Dave. I don't. He is ground dependent, but he did win a Martin Pipe on good to soft as well. I think that's always important to remember. So I actually think he might turn up anyway, even if it isn't ideal for him. But still, I wouldn't actually have Banbridge myself. I think Stage Star and Envoy Elen are the two that are going to be there at the finish. I don't see anything wrong with their form. And even that run last time for Stage Star, I'm more than happy to put a line through that off that sort of way. That was a huge effort to even get to where he was. And I actually think, like you lads have sort of mentioned as well, Phil Daw, of course, he's going to be in the Rob Core colours now, which is a little bit interesting. But he's a horse that's come in with age. And even though what we've seen from him so far might not quite win him a Ryanair, he is still going the right way. By the time it comes in 10 days' time, I wouldn't be surprised to see him run a big race. Obviously, he's got that decent form with Dino Blue and also Al Fabiolo. I just think he's a horse that they've really always thought a fair amount of, and at the price, he's probably one that isn't going to be too far away. But Stage Star and Roy Len are the two to beat for sure.
Final selection, Andrew?
If Banbridge turns up, Banbridge. If he doesn't, Envoy.
Envoy and Phil Lord for me. Sean?
Capitano for me.
Tom?
Phil Law.
And Joe?
Fildor each way.
Ideal. Okay, we're on to the Stayers Hurdle. And we have at the top of the market Tihupu, or Chupu as Kubo calls him. Chupu. 3-1. Irish Point 7-2. Crambo 6-1. Noble Yates 10-1. Sir Gerhard 10-1, and then 16-1 bar. Some great old timers, old stagers in here, but the top of the market it's dominated by the younger horses. Sean, who do you think will win?
Look, I come down heavy on the side of Irish Point, and if he doesn't run here, I think he needs to give his head a serious shake if he goes to that champion hurdle, because it just doesn't make sense. And I don't know how you can train a horse for a Stayers hurdle to then rock up in a champion hurdle. I'm not too sure how that works either. But he comes in here. Look, Tupa I want to take on. He was beaten last year, beaten by Sire Borlée, Stashel Drasha. I just don't think he's going to do it over 3 miles at Cheltenham. I just don't think that's going to play to his strengths. I think Irish Point, he's a second season novice coming in. They have very good records in this race, and he has to prove over stamina slightly. He went to Christmas time. He stepped up to 3 miles for the first time, and he's absolutely dotted up. It wasn't a stamina test, as we know. Home by the Lee went out in front. He didn't go a great gallop, but look, he's gone away and beat these 10 lengths. And Jack Kennedy's given him a shake of the reins. He hasn't even lifted the whip, and he's gone away from them. I've no worries. He stayed very well at Aintree over 2.5 last year, hitting the line strong. I'd be in big favour of him staying, and I just think he's a new horse on the block in a race that's not that great, and you've old timers coming back. Like the talks of putting Florida and Porter back in this race now, that tells you how weak they think it might be to that he'd have his chance to run in this. I just think Irish Point coming in here at Gordon Ellie would be a very silly move not to run him, the up and coming horse. I think he has lots of potential and he could be the one to go and win this for the next 2 or 3 years, because like go and running necessarily not win it. He could be the horse that could go and run in this for 2 or 3 years. He's only young, he's a 6-year-old, and it's nothing standing out at the moment. So Irish Point at 4-1 I think is a good bet.
Joe?
Difficult one to weigh up, Dave. I don't think it's as obvious as everyone's making it out to be for Irish Point. He still has to prove that he functions as well over the 3 mile trip. And I think there's a reason that they didn't go to Cheltenham last year, and that's simply because he's a flat track horse. I don't buy into the fact that just because he sprinted off a fast pace that he's going to be able to win at Cheltenham. And I also don't buy the fact that Tiahupu had his chance last year. He's a very, very good horse. And even though you can pick holes in the form, obviously with him only beating Imperial Pass by a length, but he did nothing wrong really last year. He was only 6 as well in that sort of race, and he hadn't really experienced that sort of depth of field, that sort of stamina test at his age. So I actually thought he ran a really big race and didn't quite get, or not saying he didn't get the credit he deserves, but he's being crabbed a little bit more than perhaps that he should do. So I would actually be inclined to side with Tiahupu. I know the stable think that he is their number one, and I'd be inclined to think so too until Irish Point goes out there and actually puts up a performance against decent animals that are going to suggest he's good enough to do it over 3 miles as well. So I'm in the Tiahupu camp for now, Dave.
Tom?
Cheltenham has a habit of throwing up like a fairy tale, doesn't it?
Do not say Paisley Park. I'll leave.
Say Monkfish. Please say Monkfish.
You're going Crambo, aren't you?
I'll get that.
West Balboa.
Fairy tale. West Balboa, back from the dead. You could have Crambo, Fergal O'Brien's first ever Cheltenham Festival winner. You could have Flor and Porter coming back. Who knows? Best of luck to all the lads. I really hope he runs well for them. But you have, you look at Sprinter Sacra the day he came back. You look at Honeysuckle last year and what that meant to Henry and his family and how amazing that was at Cheltenham. I'm not ruling this out, and there will be tears if it happens. Paisley Park, lads. Look at his form this year. If this turns up on the soft side, which we're all saying it has a hell of a good chance, he's been second this year, beaten ahead, short ahead, and ahead. He's been beaten a short ahead by Cranbo. He's been beaten ahead by Noble Yates at Cheltenham. His Cheltenham Festival form is very, very good. Those runs this year have been on good to soft, good and good to soft ground. This turns up on the soft side and it slows things down for him a bit. He has got fighting chance. He's still running to a very, very high level, and you know what you're going to get out of him. You're going to get out of a high 50 or a high 150s run from him.
What price is he, Tom? What price is
16 to 1. Like,
decent.
16 to 1 each way when he's running to that level. Like, he's been beaten a short head by Cranbo, and Cranbo's 6 to 1. I accept Cranbo's the younger horse. He's got more improvement left in him. Blah, blah, blah. Absolutely 100% accept that. I just think he's a cracking bet at 16 to 1. And I honestly think there's a chance that it could happen. And it would be amazing. It would be amazing for Andrew Gemmell, for Emma LaBelle. Be unreal.
Siobhan, if you're watching this, come in, take the wine off him, please.
It's 10 p.m.
Sorry.
Go on, Joe.
I was going to say, do you not perhaps worry with Paisley now that, again, I'm just speculating here, that the 3 seconds are a little bit of a story in itself now, telling you if he really wants it, or is that a little bit of nonsense? Like you said, Cranbo's improving, wasn't he? So it could just be the case. But
yeah, look, he's got very close, and I watched the replay today, and especially that Cranbo race. Like the ears are going back and forward, but then you look at the Noble Yates race, or not even the Noble Yates race, I think. Yeah, the Noble Yates race, he was fast finishing and getting there. The Dashel Drasher race, he was up in another stride. It's just a case he's so slow now. He's just running on. But can you imagine if he won that? Cheltenham has a habit of throwing these up. Mm-hmm. If we'd have said this about Sprinter Sacra that year, they'd have said absolutely God's no chance. I'd love it to happen, and I don't think it's a 1,000,000 to 1 shot. I think 16s is too big.
Sure, have you a tenner on side the Borlays as well, just in case, Tom? Because I'd say it's a 1-2 if he's winning it.
he's got a better chance than Side of Burley, though. All jokes aside, he has to.
I think Sprinter Sacra is 8, not 18.
I know. It's 10 p.m. We've been on for 2 hours, and he's putting up that fucking Mongo horse. Oh my god! He is a fucking Mongo horse. Fucking throws the dummy out the pram, like goes off the bridle a mile in a 3-mile race, then runs on. Oh, look at him running on again! Fuck that horse! Honest to God, Andrew.
Jeez, that's a refield, David.
He should.
Don't. Take it back. Shut up.
He is a Mongo horse because he should have way more grade 1s than he has. He always manages to lose.
Look, no one would begrudge him if he did win.
Are we on about horses?
He's smashing up the pub by the sounds of it.
Jesus Christ, poor Alfie's.
Andrew.
There's a lot more horses around, I tell you.
Look, no one would begrudge Paisley Park winning this, but it's very hard.
2-2. That's Paisley Park. 2-2. Fuck
what
off.
What did we do that on before? I don't know. Anyway, back to the stairs. The closer I get to Cheltenham, the more stronger I get on Sir Gerhard.
No.
And the reasons why, he reminds me a lot of Nicholas Canyon when he won this. Great a win over 2 miles, stepping up and trip for the first time into this. Cheltenham form coming into it. It's a shite race. T. Hoopu should have won it last year. I think they're going to run Irish Point in the Champion Hurdle now if Con Hill doesn't run. Because they're going to split him. If they have the chance to split him, they're going to split him. That leaves him with just T. Hoopu. Cranbo is the young improver. Nobody else has no hope in hell. Then you have Sir Gerhard, you have Florian Porter, big, beautiful, chestnut-looking bastard. They're going to kill him in the Gold Cup. Please don't run him in the Gold Cup. What the hell was that?
Fuck.
And you have Paisley Park, home by the Lee, Side of Burley, and so on. He's a very classy horse. He's won the Ballymore. He couldn't jump a fence. His life depended on it. He did nearly depend on it because he nearly killed himself a few times. people are saying he won't stay. People said the same about Solwit when he won it, about Nicholas Canyon when he won it. I think he'd have no problem staying. He won the Ballymore very easy going away, and I think at 10-1 he is a unbelievably good each way bet. He's very, very classy, and he's still only a 9-year-old. He's very lightly raced as well. But yeah, I will do him. Don't think Monkfish will run here. That's why I'm not putting him up. Don't think he'll run here. Let's get it all out there. If Monkfish runs here, Andrew Halligan is having a bet on Monkfish. No two ways about it. But I think Sir Gerhard is a cracking each way bet 10-1.
Yeah, look, I honestly don't think Sir Gerhard will stay, and I really like Sir Gerhard. I don't know what to make of him anymore, though. I think his best might be behind him. I'd be very disappointed if this race doesn't come down to 3 horses: Teahupo, Irish Point, and Crambo. They should all be the improving horses. And if they all run, I'd side with Irish Point. I quite like Crambo as well. I'm like Sean. I think Teahupo had his chance last year. I was very disappointed he couldn't get it done last year. I think Irish Point has the most progress, and he looks very good. So I hope he wins. But if they run him in Champion Hurdle, it's just silliness.
Teahupo had so much going from last season. He had his ground. It was a shite renewal, and he still couldn't get past Ashley Rasher.
Yeah. Look, I think it's a good race. I like the 3 top of the market. Should be interesting. Final selection, Tom.
Paisley Park.
Sean.
Irish Point.
Sir Gerhard.
And Joe.
Strong on Teahupo, Dave. Just to quickly add, just really quickly, they're obviously considering sending Irish Point to the Champion Hurdle. They probably wouldn't be doing that if they thought he was their number one for the stayers. And anyone sort of thought they could consider sending Bob there as well, just to pick up the pieces? He's got that former state man, or is this just another conversation?
Already,
he's not entered.
Robbie Power already said that he stopped his work and all that, and he wouldn't be ready because they're aiming him at the entry hurdle. So there's no way that he'd go for the Champion Hurdle. So that's not going to happen.
It baffled me why they didn't run him. Just look at the Cheltenham farm, plain and simple. Just leave him in until the final decorations, just in case what was happening happened.
Yeah,
he finished second, but still.
Okay, we'll kick on last one on Thursday. The Mayor's Novices Hurdle looks a very good race. Brighter Days Ahead 7-4, Jade DeGrugi 11-4, Dice Sardinos 9-2, Golden Ace 16-1, Fun 20-1, and then 25-1 bar. We're kicking on with time, so let's try keep this short and sweet. Don't go mad going through every single horse, please. And Andrew, you go first.
I am very giddy about Brighter Days Ahead. I didn't like her at the start of the season. I am after coming full fucking circle. What she done the last day was ultra impressive. Her first time racing left-handed. She jumped gun barrel straight, travelled like an absolute monster. She's a huge mare. I know it was over 2 mile 5. She'll have no problem coming down the trip. There's going to be pace in the race. She'll get dragged into the race. And to me, she's one of the bankers of the week. You want to keep it short and sweet? There we go.
I have a nice few pound on Dice Sardinos at about, I think it's 16-1. And I'm happy with that. But as I said, and myself and Tom have had talks about this, I think it's fair to say Paddy Brennan has passed his best. I don't know how else nicer I can say that.
Not nice, say it like how you really say it.
He hasn't been great the last couple of years, and that's fair enough. He's pushing on, and we all get old, and time passes us by. So that worries me. It worries me that Dice Sardinos hasn't had a proper race and come off the bridle over hurdles. So if I had to choose now, I'm happy with my bet, but I'd choose Jade DeGrugi. I like all 3 mares. I think a few people said in the comments the race of the meeting. I agree. I just think Jade DeGrugi is more battle hardened than the kind of here and now horse. But I could see Brighter Days Ahead turning into a very good chaser and being the best of them long term. Tom.
Yeah, I look. I'm a massive fan of the top 2. Really impressed with Jade DeGrugi at Leopardstown, and then again at Fairyhouse. And look, I would say it this way: whatever beats her is going to be a very good mare. I think the top two here are about £10 to a stone better than anything else. I know they've got penalties, but I think the two of those could be miles clear. I know you like Dice Enos, but like she's rated 131. I know she hasn't come off the bridle, but as you said, I kind of see that as a negative. I just you got to take her on all day long. You got to take her on. Brighter days ahead. I know we said this on the last show, and if you're playing the Pimlico mentions bingo, this is number 2. Brighter days ahead. Look, she beat Pastoral very, very well the last day, didn't she? But as I was saying on the show, and like Dave, you've got a share in the horse. You get the updates. Like she's not bad. I promise you, she is not bad. She's a very, very small, slight filly, and she's developed physically from race to race, and her transformation from her last run at Fairless to her race at Navan is remarkable. Henry's done an amazing job with her. She can be even better mare next year when she gets to Summer's Grass, but she's improving. She beat Mel Monroe, who's rated 128. I'd have them running to pretty much the numbers, lads. And I think brighter days ahead, she gave them weight. The way Gordon talks about her pedigree, I just couldn't take her on. I'm probably actually not going to have a bet in the race. I'm probably just going to watch it. But if I did, I might actually, just for a bit of fun, play the reverse forecast the first two. Because I just think they're miles clear. Miles clear.
Sean, try keep it short, please.
Yeah, look, I don't quite buy into the FOT on brighter days ahead. I don't buy in that she's all the hype that she. Look, I think she could be a good horse, but they're making her out that she's some superstar and she just has to turn up. I think that's far from the case. Jade DeGruge, she's proven. She went the first day, walloped the Geldings, went in the Sol Arena, gave them a good thumping as well and won on the bridle. I'd hard argue if she's done better than what brighter days ahead has done on the track, and I can't believe she's 3-1 and brighter days ahead is 7-4. I think they'll get a hell of a lot close on the market. I'm the same as Dave. I've backed Dice Sardinos anti-post. I've gone and backed Jade DeGruge. You have the both of them running for me. It's about even money, I think, now if you back the two of them against brighter days ahead. And look, Dice Sardino doesn't have the £5 penalty. I just can't get Aintree out of my mind. I thought the Cheltenham run was good. She has experience of the track when she beat the Geldings that time, and that horse in second of Harry Fry's ain't bad, and the horse that fell at the last that was going to be third has also come out once since. So she's raced against the Geldings. She's had 2 penalty kicks. I think the £5 penalty, and I just can't get the Aintree bump around my head. She's absolute rocket in that race, and I think she could run a big race. She'd be the third leg of the each way treble. I can't see her out of places. I think these top 3 are definitely up there, and they'll be well clear the rest.
If the 3 of them are coming there to the last together, there's no faster horse in the race than Dice Sardina. She's a speed ball. Joe?
Yeah, Dave, this is one of the bets of the festival for me. I can't see past Jade DeGruge. I'll take match bets left, right and centre for her as well. I think she's absolutely mustard. She travels supremely well. She can pick up off a slow pace, a fast pace. It literally doesn't matter to her. Good ground, soft ground, she can literally do it all. I just think she's a lot faster than Brighter Days Ahead as well. I know Brighter Days Ahead is, she's a lot bigger, so she'll probably do better for a little bit of a trip moving forward. I wouldn't care how the ground turns up. I don't care who lines up. Jade DeGruge is your banker of the meeting at 11-4, and she'll go off favourite on the day as well. 6-4 probably.
Okay, final selections for the Mayor's Hurdle on Thursday before we move on to Friday. Andrew?
Brighter Days Ahead.
Sean?
Jade DeGruge.
Tom?
Reverse forecast. Jade DeGruge and Brighter Days Ahead.
Dice Sardinos, you can do it, Paddy. I have faith. I do not have faith, but you can do it.
Unconvicted statement I have ever heard.
You can do it. Fucking retire after it then. Go on top. Do it.
I tell you what. I tell you what as well.
Yeah, that's the plan. I heard that's the plan.
I see him doing a cue card on our.
Joe, Friday is over to you. The main race on Friday, I think we'll be 4, and then let's give a couple of handicaps and we'll close it out.
Perfect. Okay, so we start off with the Triumph Hurdle, lads. We've got Sergino in here. Very short in the market now. Sorry, I've lost where I am. I think you've got 4-5. Yeah, 4-6 even Sergino. You've got 7-1 for Majbra, 8-1 for Carjace, 10 to 1 for Stormheart, and any price you like for the remainder. Andrew, who wins the Triumph?
I want to take on Sergino on the basis of Henderson's stable right now. He had another horse pull up today. There's been so many underwhelming performances. If he turns up to hit top shape, yeah, he'll win. But there's a lot of question marks regarding stable form, and it's the Triumph hurdle at the end of the day. There's any amount of improvement from any of these horses. But look, what he's shown at Cheltenham the last day was ridiculously good. But look, I want to just back Malborough 13-2 each way as a bet in the race. Third first time off for Willie in a grade 1. He's a massive horse, looks like a chaser. There's going to be any amount of improvement to come from him. I think he'd definitely be placed worse. I think he turned the form around with Cargies from DRF. And I think the rest of them are just fighting for third. If Sergino doesn't perform, I think Malborough will pick up the pieces. So I think each way at 13-2, I think he's a great each way bet in this.
Dave, sorry, I was away with the fairies then. On to you.
Yeah. Sergino's form is not all the best, to be honest. I really like Burdett Road, but I got that wrong. And he's beaten a few horses in that race at Kempton. So there's a little bit of substance to it, but I won't even take him on for the fact that the stable is not going well. I'll just take him on because I don't think he's beaten all that much. And I'll go with Malborough, same as Andrew and Gavin Lynch. I think he'll come on massively for the run at Leopardstown. Threw him in straight into a grade 1. I'd say he's going to be a very good horse. I think he's a good each way bet going against the odds on favourite.
Perfect. Sean, who'd you like in the Triumph, buddy?
Yeah, look, the lads have touched on it. Be watching by the week with Nicky Henderson, but if they are running well, this Sergino is head and shoulders above these, in my opinion. I think he's a proper tool. I don't think the Irish juveniles are up to much. He showed the last day. He absolutely walloped Burdett Road. I couldn't think of the name of that. Burdett Road. He's gone down to the last, and he's pricked his ears, and he still looked raw, and then Sean Bones had to send him away, and Jesus, the afterburners kicked in. Like, Lossiemouth looked impressive that day. He was quicker than Lossiemouth from the last of the line. That tells you how good he was going up that hill. He was absolutely frightening. I think he takes serious whack, and it's just the form of the stable that scared me. He's down to 9% now, and it's looking a bit shaky, especially with the Conhill stuff and all. Maybe it could be a lot more. The one over price, I had put him up at the start of the season, and I think he's big. He's 16-1 still in there, and I think there's a couple of lengths he might be able to nick back from the DRF is Bunting. He might be able to find a couple of lengths. I've watched this back a few times. He's got into a proper race for the first time, and he's looked a little bit lost. I also question Brian Hayes' riding. He was in and out of horses. He cost him a couple of lengths, then he's finally got out and got a run, and he's got to within a half a length of Marshborough and a length and a half behind Stormheart. I think there might be a couple of lengths to find there, and at 16-1, he's gone to a big price now. He could even go walkabout on the day. He went walkabout at the DRF. If he went out to like 25 or something like that, I think he's a good each way bet.
Thanks, Sean. Tom, who'd you like in the Triumph? Is Sergino a good thing?
No, definitely not. The lads have touched on it. Trainer form, you just couldn't touch him. I'm not going to back any Nicky Henderson horses if they're in the same form that they're in now. One of them might pop up, but I'm happy to take them on the basis of it. There's one in here at a wide price, 25-1. I don't know if he's going to run, if they're going to go here on the back of it. I really hope they do. It's a horse called Ethical Diamond. His form figures over hurdles read 0-6, but that does not tell the whole story. He bombed out at Leopardstown over Christmas when he went off 6-5 favourite. And then at the DRF, if you've got 5 minutes, lads, go back and watch the Spring Juvenile Hurdle at the DRF and watch Ethical Diamond. He was, look, what do you want to call it, an educational ride? Is that what we call it? He was beaten a total of 5 lengths, but he came from miles back. Michael O'Sullivan rode him. He got him jumping and he got him around, but that's the top Irish form. And I'm telling you, he is not far off of it. 25-1 is a massive price. If he turns up, he's going to be overlooked because of his form figures, and I think he's an absolute stonking bet. If he runs, even now, sure, you can get an on-runner, I bet. 25-1, I'll be getting well stuck into him. He shouldn't be way shorter based on his form figures, but it doesn't tell the whole story. So yeah, I'd be very, very keen on him each way.
Okay, nice one, Tom. And for me, it's Carjase. On her at bigger prices, so it's understandable to stick with her now. And then she, of course, went on and won the Spring Juvenile at the DRF. But again, she's probably got a little bit to find with Sergino. The thing I find hard with backing Sergino now is basically got one Nicky Henderson horse against a wall of unexposed Willie Mullins horses. So you're going to take 4 to 6 about that. It's quite hard to get involved with. Okay, so we'll move. Oh, no, sorry. Best bet to the race, Andrew.
Malsborough each way.
Yeah, same as Andrew.
Sean.
Yeah, look, you have to keep an eye on the Nicky Henderson. If he starts banging in winners, I think Sergino's concrete, but if not, bunting each way.
And Tom.
Ethical Diamond each way.
Perfect. And Carjase for me. Okay, on to the Albert Bartlett. We've got Reading Tommy Wrong at 13-2. Dancing City and High Class Hero at 15-2. Gidley Park at 10s. Shanna Bob at 10s. Captain T at 12s with Lecky Watson and any price you like for the remainder. Dave, who's the Bartlett winner?
Haven't got a Scooby-Doo, and I'm sure Sean will go on about Reading Tommy Wrong for ages, but not Scooby-Doo. Very hard race every single year to call. I'll back Captain Teague, and I might back something at 100-1 and 50-1. Yeah, no, I won't. Captain Teague.
Okay, Sean, Albert Bartlett, who takes the honours? Reading Tommy
Yeah,
Wrong, don't you?
Yeah, one of my stronger bets of the week. I had him up. I said after the Lawlers and Ace, I thought I could see him stepping up and trip, and he's 6 and 7-1 now. I really think he has the possibility of going off 3-1, 7-2, possibly favourite on the day. I think he'd be Willie Muns as number one. He has the form in the book that just stands out. That grade one win in the Lawlers and Ace beating Illal Antique. He didn't travel in his comfort zone for 3/4 of the race, and then with 4 furlongs to go, all of a sudden, Darryl Jacob has a double handful. He's on the hills at Illal Antique and he's trying to get space. He's then thought he was going to win more comfortably than what he did, and took the whole length of the night straight to get up and get the better of Illal Antique in the last 100 yards. I think the step up and trip is definitely going to suit him. As I said, he didn't travel at all in the 2.5 mile race until the last. So I think the extra 4 furlongs up and trip is going to suit him big time. I think the form of High Class Hero really has to be questioned. I don't think he really has the form in the book to be favourite at the moment. Like, he's beaten Sequestered at Listowel. He's then gone and beaten the big Dion on heavy ground, who doesn't run on heavy ground. And he's beaten Easy Fella and Wapat. Wapat was absolutely buried by Largy Hill. I think the form is in the book there, to be quite honest with you. Dancing City won at the DRF, but I just think Reading Tommy Wrong is coming in here. He looks a class edge. He has that grade one win over Illal Antique and the Lawlers and Ace. I think he'll have no issues up to 3 miles, and at 7-1, he definitely goes off favourite in my opinion, and probably 3-1 shot.
Excellent, thanks then, Sean. Tom, who do you fancy in the Albert?
Look, I hope for Sean's sake that he's reading Tommy right, but I don't think he is, and the one I'd take him on with is Lecky Watson. My anti-post clings on this lad. He's my only chance, basically. And I still think he's got a fantastic chance. I think the form behind Slade Steele is very good. He looked like a slow boat to China at Nace. The step up and triple help him. He's got Cheltenham Festival form. Look, you can question whether he wants to win that much. He took an age to get up at Furless, but I don't think Furless is his track. But yeah, at the prices at the minute, he's a smash each way for me at about 12-1.
Lecky Watson for Tom and Andrew.
Do you know the way you hate the cross country? I can't fucking stand this race.
It's very hard race.
It's a shocking race every fucking year. Yeah. You have this God-given certainty run in it, and he finishes about 10th every year. Yeah. Manila Indo won this in the 50s, for fuck's sake. Yeah. Like, I can't make head nor tails. The whole Reading Tommy Wrong, he'd probably end up 10th. It happens every year. High Class Hero, 9th. Dancing City, probably the one I'd back in him, to be honest with you. He looks a hardy fucker. Captain Teague, I'd be surprised if his soul is not still in Newbury somewhere. I don't know, and that's the God's honest truth. If I was to back something right now, I'd probably back Dancing City, but fuck knows who wins this. You could have someone like Shapta Salai, who couldn't jump a hurdle the last day, all of a sudden win. Largy Hill, if he turns up here. My trump card, Crow Park. Who goddamn knows what's going to happen here? It's one of these races every year where something mental happens.
Yeah, fair enough. I haven't really got a selection for either lads. I'll find something a bit nearer the time. I have done High Class Hero anti-post, but again, form is easy to pick apart now, despite all of the works. Okay, selections.
Did Santini go off 5-2 or something for this one?
Yeah, there's been loads of favourites beating it.
Dave, but you have no selection for you?
Just Captain Teague if I had to back one, but I don't. No.
Cool. Sean, reading Tommy wrong.
Reading Tommy wrong for me, yeah.
Lecky Watson for you then, Tom?
Yeah, Lecky Watson for me, definitely.
Andrew?
Dadson City.
All right, that's
Thomas, I can moan if I fucking want to moan.
Key Buckley.
Show, I can do what I want.
Key Buckley, did Belfast Banter win this? No, he won the county hurdle.
Won the grade 1 then at Aintree.
Okay,
it's now in America.
The highlight of the week, we got the Gold Cup. We got Galopan, Deschamps at 11 to 10, Fast or Slow at 5s, Shishkin at 7s, Jerry Colom at 11s, Lompresse at 14s, and any price you like for the rest. Right, Sean, let's start with you for the Gold Cup. Who are you thinking?
Oh, you can't get away from him, can you, Joe? He's been spectacular this season, and he's another one. Like, there's 2 open chases this week, and El Fabiolo's 4-6. I'll be getting drilled into him, and Gallop and the Champ is 6-4 on the machine as well. I'll be getting drilled into him because I just think he's a special freak, and he's put aside Fast or Slow the last day, and I think he had plenty left. He didn't leave it all there. We seen what he done at Christmas. He absolutely annihilated him. I think if he books him off the front, it could be a special performance in the Gold Cup. He might leave it all there, but I think it could be a special performance at Paul Town and kicks him off the front, and we seen what we did at Christmas, and he could go and win this and leave them all in the field behind. I think 6-4 is a great price.
Yeah, fair enough. Tom?
Yeah, look, as Sean said, it's kind of impossible to get away from him. I've never been like the biggest Galloping fan like some of the lads have, but it's very, very hard to get away from him. If Hendos were in better form, I'd be putting up Shishkin each way. The fact that they're not is a bit worrying. If the ground dries out later in the week, I'd be putting up Hewick each way. But it's kind of grasping. I've no real strong opinion betting wise, but I'll sit back and watch it, and I'll probably just enjoy Galloping.
Yeah. Okay. Andrew.
Galloping. The Black Dragon wins. Look, they done too good of a job settling him last season. He can be put anywhere in a race these days. He won this from being stone last season. He can win this by being up with the pace. He's not going to make the running. I don't get this. He's going to go off like I can't see him making the run in this. He'll be tracking the pace because you'll have the likes. Where are they? You have the Real Wacker. He'll probably go out in front. You're going to have Brave Man's Game, who'll probably go out in front as well. He'll have a nice pace to aim at. He'll try bring him into the race. I think when Paul asked for the jumps, it'll be there. I don't think he asked for the jumps at the DRF because the ground was so heavy, and there was really no need for him to ask him for the big exuberant jumps. But when he wants them, he's always there. He's head and shoulders above anything in this race. He wins, and he'll win the second Gold Cup. To me, doing handstands again.
Job done. And Dave, does he win it?
It's very difficult to win multiple Gold Cups. Hasn't been done much. It can be done, and I suppose it has to depend on the horses against him, and the challengers to him. I think a lot of them lack tactical speed that you need to win a Gold Cup. People were talking up low home press. He just doesn't jump fast enough. He's very sticky over his jumps. Jerry Colom doesn't have the tactical speed coming down the hill. He'll be left behind, plod on probably into a place. Shishkin's the same. Gallopin's a better horse than Fast or Slow, so you're basically coming back down on Gallopin. I think you'll win. I hope it's a performance like a Christmas rather than at the DRF. I think the forgotten one for each way is Brave Man's Game. I'd say Nichols will have him back to his best, and could be the same one too as last year.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. And Galopan for me, I don't think anything beats him on last year's performance. If you want an each way angle, Gentleman's Game and Fast or Slow, I think will be there picking up the places. So go around for the selections. Sean, Galopan for you.
Gallopin the shop. Yeah.
Tom.
Oh God, I'm going to sit on the fence. If it dries up, Hewick each way, but best luck to the Gallopin fans.
Andrew.
The Black Dragon.
And Dave.
Yeah, Gallopin, he is a very special horse.
I feel like with Galopan, they haven't just got a race to last year, but what he did at Leopardstown was even better. So it's almost widened anyway. Right, Mares Chase then, lads, to finish off the main races. We've got Dino Blue at even money, Allegory Devassi at 72, Limerick Lace at 5s, Brides Hill at 9s, and any price you like for the rest. Tom, who takes the mares? I know you obviously like Moscada at the beginning. Things haven't gone to plan, but who do you like for it now?
It's a travesty, isn't it? I don't know how she's not running here. I had a little word with her out in Henry's, and I said, "Tell them you want to go for the mares," and it didn't work. It didn't work. I had to back down and got forcibly removed. But apart from that, it was a great visit, and I love Moscada. Look, Dino Blue looks standout, doesn't she? Allegory Devassi. I feel Impervious is a very good mare, but I still just think she had a chance to win it this year. I get what they're saying. They've changed her regime, but Dino Blue just looks a little like half a stone ahead of these. So yeah, it's hard to know. The one down there, look, I'll throw her in, is Pink Legend, who seems to always turn up at Cheltenham. She's 80 to 1. If she ran and she was 80 to 1 on the day, I'd throw her a couple of euros each way. And she's come into this off the back of a bad run before and still run well. Like, I know her form this season hasn't been amazing, but she turns up at Cheltenham. She's 80 to 1. I'd throw a couple of euros each way. But yeah, I think top of the market, Dino Blue's fairly solid.
Okay, Andrew, Dino Blue, does she take all the beating?
No, I want to take her on. Her 2 runs at the Cheltenham Festival have been lacked a bit of, like, the first time off she was obviously lit up to the gills and got beat 17 lengths in the Mayor's Novice. Last season she tried to take the last 2 fences home with her in the Grand Annual when she got beat by Moscada. To me, I think she's much better on a flat track. I'd be worried about the trip as well. I'd be very worried about the trip. Her form this season is very good. 8 lengths behind Ed Fabio, beating Gentleman to me by 7 lengths in Fildor. Look, her form is good. But the one I want to take her on with is Limerick Lace, one who is guaranteed to stay the trip, who's been improving hand over fist this season, was second in the Tri-Town, beaten by Cocoa Beach, won by 16 lengths on her season reappearance, and then absolutely hosed up over 2 mile 4.5 at Doncaster by 10 lengths on the absolute Sally Snaff. If the ground becomes softer on the Friday, her chances become greater and greater. She's a big mare. She's an improving mare. I think 11 to 2. She's not going to be out. I think if Dino Blue wins, she'd be second. But there's just Dino Blue's form around Cheltenham is nowhere near as good as her form back in Ireland. So I'd be willing to take her on at even money without them concerns against her at Cheltenham.
Interesting. Dave, how about you?
Yeah, like, there's some nice mares in this. I like Brides Hill. I like Limerick Lace. But I just don't think they're at the same level of Dino Blue. I think Dino Blue has shown that she can run in open grade ones and be competitive in them. I don't think they would be anywhere near that level. Tom was saying that she probably has a half stone on them. I agree. Allegory, she's a lovely horse, lovely looking horse, but I think they found out the last day that she's a 2 miler. She might look like a big stayer, but she doesn't seem to stay. So I said earlier, there's a couple of decent kind of short price bets. I think Dino Blue is one of them. I think she will win. And Tom stole Pink Legend. I was going to say, I thought she might run into a place, even if there's a big field in this and you get 4 places. She was second to Ellie May, beating half a length, and last year she was third to Allegory and Impervious, beating like 6 lengths. For some reason, she doesn't run well loads of the year and then turns up and runs well in this. So if you're getting 80 to 1, just have an each way bet there.
Okay, 2 for Pink Legend each way. Sean, finish us off then.
Yeah, look, it's a trip thing. I just couldn't get stuck into Dino Blue with the question marks, but I have absolutely no doubt if she can replicate that over 2.5 miles, she is absolutely head and shoulders above these. None of these could run in the races and get as close as she has. Like Allegory, she's been competing against El Fabiolo and absolutely dotted up on the grade 1 2 mile at Leopardstown. That's 2 mile 1 stiff track. I'd be confident. She's grown up a lot. Like the first time she went to Cheltenham, she exploded. Last year she was a novice. She's hit 2 fences. This year she's looked to get it all together, and she's looked a lot more professional. I think if she was ever going to do it, it'd be now. And look, even when she's the obvious pick, I just couldn't be getting stuck in with the stamina worry.
Yeah, so that's my only concern with her as well. I'm deeply concerned about her over this trip being as functional when you've got Limerick Lace, Brides Hill that have proven sort of over this trip and functional over it as well. They're very good at that too. But I'd actually lay Dino Blue. Big worry about her. One of the shorties that I would take on. But I like Brides Hill myself. Okay, final selections. Tom?
Probably Pink Legend each way at the prices.
Andrew?
Limerick Lace.
Dave?
I think Dino Blue will win, but Pink Legend each way.
And Sean?
Yeah, I think Dino Blue will win if she stays.
Right, I'll go Brides Hill each way just because I don't like Dino Blue. Okay, so that wraps up all of the main races. What's next on the agenda, boys?
Okay, so we will go around the room, a couple of handicap selections, maybe 3 or 4. No specific races. Obviously, give the race, but you don't have to go for a specific one. Just pick a couple that you like. Let's try and keep it short and sweet, and we will finish up then. What we might do is put our lucky 15s up on the Twitter page. I don't have one.
Okay, Nap's next best each way.
We'll do Nap next best each way pick our handicaps, and we'll throw those lucky 15s up on the Twitter page. Sean, handicaps.
Yeah, the first handicap I want to give a shout out to is the Ultimate Trelawney, 16-1. I'll be backing him each way now. There's a lot of hype around Shanty Classico. I don't know about him, to be honest. I think he might be a bit of a flat track horse, and he blew out at Cheltenham last year. And this lad deserves a lot of credit. Kim Bailey Yard, probably be a second string. Ran well at Cheltenham when he was in behind Grey Dawning at Genie's Destiny that day. I think he's going to really appreciate a step up and trip to 3 miles, and that could bring out the best of him. And the Boodles, I think Cossack Chak at 20-1 each way. He's been overlooked big time. I know they have Lark in the morning at the top of the mark. He's over low way. I think Cossack Chak could run a big race. Form tied in. Should have beat Wadu, in my opinion, up and down road. It didn't make a mistake. And then the last day, they booked him off the front. And I don't know whether he wanted to try, whether he was a trying force or not. And he just got tired late and finished up. I think the better the ground, the better for him. Then you move on to the Patemps and White Rhino. He's 14-1, another each way bet. I think off a mark of 129, he's a very workable mark. He has good form at Cheltenham, and he won earlier in the season. They then got a quite little handbrake ride, as I'd say, to fall in to qualify for this race and third, and he's off a very nice mark. Will stay all day. And my last one is in the Martin Pipe, and it's Sam Majest. I think this lad could potentially be a 150 horse competing in graded race at the end of the season. I think his Limerick race, look, people are saying, what did he run to? I'd have him running that he's probably in around the what he has. He's gone and dotted up. I think he's lots to improve on. I definitely have him over Kay de Bourbon. Kay de Bourbon can't jump, and I'd be worried around Cheltenham. So Sam Majest would be my last one.
Andrew?
First one, fly through is Shanty Classico in the Ultima. I think he's tailor-made for this. He has everything you want for this: the right profile, age, right end of the handicap, jumps well, travels well. Last year he ran in a grade 1. This is the handicap as stark contrast, and he's at the proven stones for a fence. So I think 10-1, he's a great win bet for this. In the play, Shake 'em Up Harry, £4 higher for when third in the last season. Won last time out over course and distance by 7 lengths. That was a race with Stage Star in. Ben Paulin's horses are flying, and he's 16-1 right now. He'd have a massive chance. I give a massive chance to last year's winner as well if John McCollin's horses decide to actually remember the horses and run again. If he comes back in here fresh, he'll run a big race. He was third in the American National last time out. That's the last time we saw him, but he went on a win run last year. I could give him a good chance there. Kim Muir, extremely poor race. I'm going through this. Bad race, but one who is there at a big pricing, 16-1, is Wacker Clan. Won at the October meeting this year. He won that really well for the front. And races like these, as I said, with the National Hunt Chase, he's an amateur jockey, so you're going to have horses out of trouble. This fella's going to be up at the front. He's an unbelievably good jumper. He has course form. Again, Henry's horses grow a leg for Cheltenham. He's 16-1. He's off 125. He's £6 race. So the last time I'd give him a massive each way chance, 14-1. And the final two, King of Kingsfield. To me, he's not everyone's talking about him, but I think he's everything you want for a county hurdle. He has a Grade 1 form. He won a good maiden hurdle at Leopardstown. He's had to get a fair mark of 140, I think. He's a lovely profile for this kind of race, and I think he has a massive chance in this. And the last one, Saint Watt in the Grand Annual has got tender loving handling all season out the back of the telly in all his races. Waiting you see him take a lovely trip to Martinstown. He's probably in there right now getting the binocular treatment, and he will be absolutely smashed, I'd say.
Joe?
Two from me in the handicaps, Dave. I really like Madara in the Grand Annual. A 5-year-old with 9 chase starts already, so plenty of experience. And obviously went over to the DRF and won in really good fashion for the big prize. James Reevely came over all the way for the one ride, so they knew what they had in hand for this fella. He's already ran 3 times at Cheltenham. He won on his last start before going over to the DRF. And I think, again, this one's plenty unexposed and still ready to improve. And then my second one will be Great Cool in the Pertemps. I really, really like this mare for Ted Walsh. She's by Harzand, who, of course, won the Derby. She won the Pertemps trial at Leopardstown before Christmas, and then she ran a bouter behind Maxim at the DRF. I still think she's feasibly well handicapped, and those two will do for me. Quick fire for you.
Tom?
Okay, I'm going to go quick fire. I'm not going to go into too much detail. So, Theatre Man. Hopefully he goes for the ultimate up and trip. Richard Bandy's stable in very good form. I think he'll go very close. The Goffer also in that race ran really, really well last year. Can go close again. The Boodles, I'm going to take Eagle Fang and Nara. Nara for Henry Bromhead, very interested. The favourite look could have loads up his sleeve, but Eagle Fang and Nara for me. Then we are on to the Coral Cup, and we're going for Henry de Bromhead again. Ballyadam's a crazy price in this, lads. He's got really, really good Cheltenham form, and he's run well this season. He's a wild price. Obviously, Lagadan is the one who turns up every year. Brazil is also in there, interesting than gelding for the first time, but I'm very keen on Ballyadam. Where are we next? We are down to the Temps. I'm going to give Noble Birth a chance. Not a very good race this year. Noble Birth ran well there. Bit too keen and got tired in the closing stages, but can go close again. The Plate, very keen on firm footings. I think Caldwell have sold a couple of Cheltenham Festival winners this year. I think they could be on the same day, and I think firm footings could be one of them. The Kim Muir, we're going to fill into the Derek O'Connor retirement party as well with I Know the Way You're Thinking. Could have a lot up his sleeve. Has run against a lot of good horses. Waka Clan will run a very good race as well for that man, Henry de Bromhead. County Hurdle, King of Kingsfield, Andrew mentioned him. He's off 140. I think they thought he could have been a proper Grade 1 horse at the start of this year. I think they've learned how to ride him, and I think he's going to go very, very well in the county. And that is it for me. Take on Say Majest. If you're tipping Say Majest, you are guessing. Is my advice.
For me, I quite like Eagle Fang, but I won't steal that from Tom. One on Tuesday, one I've been strong on all along, Chianti Classico. I think he's the right profile for the Ultima. We'll go close. In the Coral Cup on Wednesday, Gavin already mentioned it, built by Ballymore. Trainer is really shrewd. He aims horses at certain races. He's been twice the last two. He's been second the last 2 years in the Coral Cup. I'm fairly sure he'll want to put that right. He was second with Fast or Slow, and I forget the name of the other horse. Tom backed both of them. I'm nearly sure. Both years. Epic song. Yeah. So he'd be trying to put that right. In the Pertemps, Sean already mentioned it. White Rhino. He was tickled around Huntington or wherever the hell it was, never put into the race. I'd say he'll have a good chance. And then in the County Hurdle on Friday, one that ran at the DRF, liked her last year. She's coming from Lossiemouth's triumph last year, and it's Senta. I hope Senta runs in the County Hurdle. I think the experience at DRF coming third, that big mad field will stand her in good stead. I think she's a very talented mare. And I give her a good chance of placing at least or winning the County Hurdle. Andrew, Nap, next best and your best each way bet.
Nap is brighter days ahead in the mares. I think she's going to win impressively. Next best, Mystical Power, whichever race he runs in. Ballymore Supreme, he wins. Best each way bet, Sir Gerhard in the Stairs. I think he's absolutely unbelievable bet at 10-1.
Sean.
Yeah, I mean, that would mean be Ballybourne. I don't think he'll be beaten. He'll scare away wherever he runs in, whether he goes Supreme or Ballymore. My next best probably be Factor Foil. Really, Tommy Wrong. I couldn't really split the two. Factor Foil probably edges it, to be honest, but reading Tommy Wrong is 7-1. And the biggest each way race I thought we were covering that we didn't this year, but the Hunter's Chase, the Fox Hunter, is Secret Investor. He's 25-1. I thought he's a big price. He's the beatings of Vassile last year. He's 25-1. He's 6 from 7 in his career. Only beaten once last year when he brought down at the fourth round Cheltenham when he ran in this race. I think he's a big price and perhaps could go off a lot shorter. The race the last day would have put him right, and hopefully he can run a big price. Secret Investor at 25-1 each way.
Tom.
So I'm gonna go bank. So my banker is obviously Factor 5, but he's even money. There's a bit of value there. So I'm gonna go. My nap is actually Phil Dave. I'm mad keen on him. So nap is Phil Dore. Next best is Great Dawning, and each way is going to be Firtana in whatever race he runs.
Joe.
My nap of the festival is, I mean, I'm not going to say Marine National. I think I'm doing everyone's head in with that, but my nap would be Jade de Grugy. My next best would be You Ought to Know in the bumper, and each way is Madara in the Grand Annual.
And my each way one is Phil Dore, so I'm there with you on that, Tom. And my nap is probably Ballyburn. Whatever race he runs in, I think he will win. I like Firefox and all that, but I think Ballyburn is a right good animal. And my next best, it's very hard. I think it's a very open festival this year. But as long as he runs, I settled on Irish Point. I hope he runs in the Stairs Hurdle, not in the Champion Hurdle. He has no chance of that. On that note, we will finish up. It's been a good 2 hours, 45 minutes. Plenty of people watching. It's good to do these live shows. Loads of comments. Thanks for all the comments. Like I said before, please like and subscribe. Tom, you have something to say?
Somebody said, are we going to post our selections, or at least our naps next best? I think we'll hit them on the website, Andrew, will we?
I'm getting there. Andrew's going to cut the video into the 4 days, so that'll be up on YouTube as it's separate podcast, Tuesday to Friday. So you'll have all the selections. You'll be able to go back through without having to skip through the whole 3 hours. We will put a lucky 15 from all of us, a different lucky 15 up on Twitter, I presume, on Instagram. And if you follow us, we'll all have selections up, but we would probably put up like group selections per day and stuff as well. I know every day on Instagram I put up selections for Cheltenham when the declarations are out, because you could have different selections in the handicaps when you get there. But anything else to add?
That was fun.
Thank you very much for watching. It's much appreciated. Some great comments, constructive. We love it all. And there wasn't too many F-bombs.
There was a few.
Enjoy Cheltenham, gamble responsibly, and back many winners. Do a few of them ones.
And we will do the State Man dance when Con Hill is going.